one knows America's finest city like he does.
You can't just punt on a Manny Machado prime year.
He's a fourth-generation San Diegan, born and raised in the heart of this community. Passionate, opinionated, and always bringing you the real talk on your teams, your city, and everything in between.
Braden totally knows his stuff. He's ready for the next step. That guy is good.
Live and local, it's the Braden Surprenant Show.
But I think Braden's one of the up-and-coming young stars in the media game in San Diego.
Now, here's your host, Braden Surprenant.
What's up, San Diego, and a happy Thursday to everybody out there in America's finest city. I'm Braden Surprenant. This is the Braden Surprenant Show, live and local each and every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's number one sports station, 97.3 The Fan. It's good to be talking with all of you here on a Thursday. Week flies by when you have a kind of a random week for us. We did the morning show on Tuesday because the boys were out sick. We had Monday off because of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So a little bit of an interesting week for us. But here we are on a Thursday, getting excited for the weekend of sports that's coming up over the weekend. We're going to have college basketball, the NFL, the whole 9 yards as we get into a discussion about a lot of different things today. We got Aztecs basketball to talk about. We're going to get to that in a second. USD got a big victory last night. Tritons are going to be on, I think today, if I'm not mistaken, against UC Davis, which will be on 97.3 The Fan as the San Diego UCSD Tritons travel up to UC Davis. We got some hot stove news for you to talk about, some other threats of the lockout and things like that. Plus, we got to get to the NFL situation that they might be expanding to 18 games and going down to 2 preseason games. We'll talk about that later on the show as well. But I'm going to tell you right now, this is what I'm doing. I am now boycotting high knees. I am boycotting doing high knees. I don't need to do them. They look ridiculous. I'm not doing high knees because Jeffrey Anderson, I don't know what he was doing last night, but that final call was awful. If Jeffrey Anderson wasn't so worried about doing the high knees down the court for social media, maybe he would have got his ass down the court fast enough to realize that Ty Simmons did not actually make enough contact on what was a foul call under 2 seconds to get Grand Canyon to the line, to get them to make 2 free throws, and all of a sudden beat San Diego State in basketball. Now, 2 things could be true. That was a horrid call because I'm still watching, trying to figure out where the foul is. I will never understand it. I will never understand a foul in basketball. I'll just never understand it. I've been told many times what the definition of a foul is. I have been explained to multiple times about fouls, and every single time I watch basketball or college basketball, there's usually a massive head scratcher of what was that? Why was that called a foul? A foul in basketball is any time a player does something that gives them an unfair advantage in the play. That's like what the definition of a foul is. So when using that to interpret a lot of different things that happen in basketball, I sit there and look at last night's game and that final play and go, I don't know what they're looking at. But as you watch the film, the call from Jeffrey Anderson on the near side court, away from where the play was, what he saw compared to what the other 2 officials right in front of the play did not see was as he was running down the court, and he was a little bit late getting down the court because it was moving quickly, under 7 seconds to go, he sees the Grand Canyon player kind of lean back a little bit. He sees 3 members of the San Diego State Aztecs basketball team. He assumes contact, calls the foul, and now all of a sudden the Aztecs are sending Grand Canyon to the line where 2 free throws wins the game. Now, that was bad. But I will tell you this. You know what else was bad? Not making the free throw on the other end for San Diego State in Davis, who is the best at free throw shooting in the conference. He's the best. And you can't even say like San Diego State they made free throws all game long. Crunch time, guys are tired. Needs to make 2 free throws in the game is pretty much over in favor of San Diego State. Misses the front end of the 1-and-1. 2 things can be true. 1, college basketball officials are highly influenced by crowd because they're afraid. And 2, You have to make your free throws late in the game. San Diego State was slogging through that second half. Absolutely slogging through that second half. They had a pretty good first half at Grand Canyon. They were slogging through the second half. I mean, Grand Canyon went on a pretty big run. They got up by as many as 12 points in the basketball game in the second half. San Diego State had to climb out of a hole, and they had so many opportunities down the stretch to win that game against Grand Canyon last night. So many opportunities where they would make another stop, and then it would be, let's get a tough contested shot in the first 2 seconds of the possession. Come up empty. Then you had to make another stop. It would come back, bad shot again, trying to force something. That's how that entire game was in the second half. I mean, it was ridiculous watching them go back and forth in the final minutes of the game. They played their ass off. They had to keep coming through. But Miles Byrd, not a great game yesterday. Miles Byrd, who looked like he was finally starting to turn it on for San Diego State, not a great game yesterday. And the Aztecs needed Miles Byrd. They needed Miles to have a good game yesterday. Why? Because Magoon Guath was out. And Magoon Guath is, who knows, he might be out even more time over the next couple of weeks, maybe get next couple of games. We'll get the updates from Mark Ziegler, who covers the team for the San Diego Union Tribune. But you needed a guy like Miles Byrd to go out there and take over the game. You needed him to really step up. You needed the rest of the Aztecs to really step up yesterday, and they failed to do so. You can say what you want about the officiating last night's game. I thought it wasn't very good, which is funny and very ironic because before the day started, you saw Mark Ziegler's tweet about how it was some of the three best ranked officials in college basketball. And as soon as I saw that tweet from Mark, I'm like, this thing's cursed, man. They're cursed. This is not going to end well. A lot of cheap fouls, a lot of, not that great at calls. It's hard to win at Grand Canyon because in college basketball, with the crowd right on top of you, it gets intimidating, and a lot of officials give into the crowd. And I saw that last night. Let's not pretend like that doesn't happen. That absolutely happens. But at the same time, the Aztecs' second half had a lot of opportunities that forced bad looks, bad shots, and put them in a position to have to avoid the officiating late. That's what I saw last night. Make your free throws. It's not even a problem. You don't have to talk about the bad call at the end of the game. San Diego State made their free throws for almost the entire game, but they needed to make it when it mattered, and they failed to do so. It's a tough loss. They actually moved up in the metrics because it's hard to win at Grand Canyon. We talked about that going into the game. It's not a devastating loss. It was almost expected with how difficult it is to play there. But at the same time, Utah State lost to UNLV. You're still in control of everything. It doesn't hurt you big time. It was almost an expected loss. The thing that's frustrating about the loss is the fact that you were so close to pulling it off and never having to go back to Grand Canyon ever again. I'll place your 0-3. Again, as much as people don't understand, I would like to see any Power 4 school go into Grand Canyon and win. I would. Grand Canyon is now 41-3 at home in the last 3 years. I'm surprised Youngstown State went in there and won this year. I mean, 2 of those 3 losses have actually happened this year. But the narrative is going to be like, well, they lost to Grand Canyon on the road. I'm telling you right now, there's not a lot of Power 4 schools that are rolling into Grand Canyon and getting a win. There's not a lot. Especially with the way the way games are officiated there. It's just, it's difficult. It's the same thing with Viejas Arena. It's a tough place to play. And the Mountain West trying to sneak Grand Canyon in last second to try to stick it to all the teams leaving for the Pac-12 is also a joke. I cannot wait for the Aztecs to get out of the Mountain West. I cannot wait for the Aztecs to get out of the Mountain West Conference. The Mountain West Conference is Mickey Mouse. It is so Mickey Mouse with everything that they do. It's so small time. It's so sneaky. It's so, let's not take care of our flag bearers of the conference. It's a sneaky conference. Don't like it. Tired of watching it. So glad the Aztecs are getting out of it. As much as I've criticized the Aztecs going to the Pac-12 because it wasn't the best situation, it's still way better than the Mountain West. And all options considered, once the talks with the Big 12 didn't go the direction of a potential full partnership, it was a good place to pivot to, and it looks like it's a good landing spot that's going to survive. You're going to put yourself in a position to survive. And for San Diego State, they're putting themselves in a position to survive. But you had to get out of the Mountain West Conference. Had to get out of the Mountain West Conference. And I cannot wait for the Mountain West Conference to be over for San Diego State. I can't wait for them to announce the Pac-12 football schedule because it's one step closer to being out of the Mountain West Conference. Final play, as most people in the basketball world said, not a great call by Jeffrey Anderson to finish the game. But at the same time, San Diego State needs to make their free throws. And I know they were almost perfect up until that point, but you have to make your free throws late. 833-288-973, 833-288-973. Yeah, I agree with Ben Higgins, by the way, on the sense that the tweet last night, pretty telling. The Mountain West won't even put a replay of the critical foul call on the game highlights. The highlights are like 4 minutes long. Yeah, just posting the free throw at the end, insane edit by the Mountain West. Insane edit by the Mountain West. Terrible. But you know what? It's not a devastating loss for the Aztecs. It was almost expected because of the situation. You got to go to Vegas, be able to beat up on UNLV, get back in the winning side of things, and you'll be set for the rest of conference play. 833-288-973, 833-288-973. At other college basketball games last night, we'll quickly talk about. We will also get into the news of Freddie Peralta now being a New York Met. We got a lot of baseball to talk about today. Just getting started on a Thursday. San Diego Surprenant Sports Station, 97 through the Fan. We're broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We know how. Braden Surprenant show here on San Diego's number one sports station, 97.3 The Fan. He's Frank Marchese. Taking to Gwen and Chris coming up at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Got a lot to get to today. Talking Aztecs basketball from last night. We got the other local colleges in action as well. UCSD will play tonight against UC Davis. We'll briefly talk about that here in a second. USD played last night, too. I'll get you the full recap as well. We'll also talk about a lot of different things in baseball. We got the baseball hour coming up in the 11 o'clock hour. Freddie Peralta got shipped off to the Mets last night. That's an interesting trade. A lot of discussion about that again, because everything keeps going and circling around the new CBA that's going to be happening at the end of next year. Sounds like the owners and the players are going to start meeting in May of this year. We'll see how that goes. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. Do you want to get your phone calls? 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. I give you my opinion on the Aztec game from last night. I thought the Aztecs fought hard in the second half. All things considered, I still think they made too many mistakes to potentially win on the road. You got to be able to make your free throws. Got to have better offensive possessions when you make stops to finally take the lead. San Diego State kept punting down the opportunity to take the lead down the road instead of taking advantage of the defensive stops that they have made. I thought Miles Byrd didn't play that great of a game last night. He played pretty well defensively, but overall, a guy that was starting to light up the stat sheet and starting to really settle in had a little bit of a setback yesterday, especially with Magoon Guath being out. Got to be better than that if you're the Aztecs. Got to get somebody to step up. In the absence of Magoon Guath, Miles Byrd is usually the person that you would rely on. I thought the final call in that game was not a good one by Jeffrey Anderson, being far away from the basketball. So to me, I could see it both. I see both sides of it. That was a bad call at the end of the game, but if Davis makes the free throws, it doesn't even matter. Don't put it in their hands. It's the whole situation with like a called third strike. Don't put it in the umpire's hands. Last night, Aztecs put it into the referee's hands. Didn't work out for them, especially when you're playing on the road. You might get bailed out at home. Very rare for San Diego State in the Mountain West Conference, but you're definitely not going to get a benefit on the road, especially in a hostile environment like it is at Grand Canyon. That was my take on last night's game. Frank, what do you think about the Aztecs last night? Big picture, not that big of a deal. It's a frustrating loss because you were so close to potentially stealing one at Grand Canyon.
Yeah, you had a game stolen from you for sure last night, but I think part of the problem is, definitely the Davis missing that free throw. That was the killer. I mean, and I texted you that immediately after the game. I said that is a rough foul to take, which again, there was no foul. However, you cannot miss that free throw if you're Davis. You have to make that free throw that makes it at least to where they have to make a bucket. And if you get the other end of that, then they have to make a three, which from Grand Canyon's perspective, they were doing with relative ease all night long as far as that's concerned. But I'm stumbling here because I'm looking and trying to find through the Gamecast, which thank you, ESPN, for not.
They don't have the box score on there today.
No, they don't, which they had it last night. I remember from.
I wonder if it's because that they gave. Forget who it was. Was it Ty Simmons?
Is the game under protest, or is there a
no? They gave somebody in the Aztecs an 82-foot dunk.
Love it.
That happened yesterday during the game. They marked it wrong. I wonder if they're trying to fix it. Some people were posting on social media.
That's awesome.
Ty Simmons makes 81-foot dunk at the end of the game, it says, or at the beginning of the game. Something happened. It was when it was 62-61 on the score. It says Ty Simmons makes 81-foot dunk.
I'd love to. I'd keep it. Just let him have that. Just let him go with it. But from what I saw last night, and from what I remember, I'm trying to get the exact number here, trying to find a box score that's not completely broken. San Diego State had a +6 rebound advantage, turnover advantage. It was 10-4 just before the ending of the first half, and they were up by 1. That is also a big problem. When you get a team like that to turn the ball over as many times as they did, Grand Canyon, yeah, they ended up with that +6. It was 16-10 turnover. Grand Canyon had 16 turnovers. When you have a +6 turnover margin, that game can't be as close as it is. I understand that Grand Canyon was making threes and San Diego State wasn't, but you have to be able to capitalize on that. It cannot be that close of a game with a turnover margin that big.
Well, San Diego State failed on the offensive end a handful of times in last night's game. They shot 40% from the field, 16% from the three-point line. I mean, they were 3 for 18 last night from beyond the arc.
10 for 21 for Grand Canyon, and they looked like in the first half, like early in the first half, they could not miss from three-point range.
They looked like San Diego last night.
Yeah.
USD was just nailing threes the entire game. We'll talk about them in a second. They shot 16% from beyond the arc and had 18 attempts. That's not a recipe for success in general, especially when you were doing so well in other areas. 28 points on points in the paint for San Diego State. Grand Canyon had 16. San Diego State did take advantage of some of the turnovers. They did score 20 points off turnovers. I guess it would have been better if they had more. Grand Canyon only had 7 points off turnovers. The Aztecs did a really good job, even with the free throws. They shot 84% for the free throw line. They were 60. They only missed 3 the entire night. They were 16 for 19, but unfortunately, one of them was at the end of the game, and they needed it the most. But I don't want to blame the announcer. A play-by-play guy goes like, "Oh well, the free throw line has really helped out the Aztecs today, and BJ Davis is going to the line, one of the best free throw shooters in the conference." Yeah, they were 14 of 15 before that point. They finished 16 of 19. BJ Davis actually was 4 for 6 from the free throw line last night.
And Grand Canyon went 22 for 28.
Yeah,
from the
28 opportunities at the free throw line to San Diego State's 19.
You also, if you expect to win a game like that, and this also lends credence to the +6 turnover rate. How are you down by 12 in the second half? I mean, that's a bad deficit to have to overcome.
Too many sequences on offense where they just come up with absolutely nothing and not a great shot, or they rush it in the first couple seconds of the possession.
There was one by, I believe it was by Harrington, just takes a random fadeaway floater going towards the end line. He made it, but just because you made it doesn't make it a good shot. Like, what are you doing settling for that shot so early in the shot clock?
Yeah, let's talk about the second half for a second. I mean, it was the run that Grand Canyon went on to be up 12. As I'm trying to find where that possession was. I mean, it was the stretch at the beginning part of the second half where they jumped out to they had the 12-point lead against San Diego State, and it was the highest lead was what, 50.
I believe it was a 14-point advantage. I mean, the splits, if you look at the splits in the half, 37-35 in the first half, 35-32 in the second half, that does not tell the story at all of how the halves were played. Grand Canyon,
they had the
like
12-point lead with 9:16 left in the game. So the run that they were on, because they hit that, Brian Moore Jr. hit the 3 to go up 61-49 at that point in the game. So they had a 12-point lead. During that stretch for San Diego State was not awesome. Here's what they made 2 free throws, but they were stuck at 47 points.
I think they
from 14:06 when Pharaoh Compton got the dunk to pull it in 3. Their offensive possessions were turnover, 3-pointer missed by Sean Newman Jr. Had some subs, foul on Reese Dixon Waters. What else did they have on here? 3-pointer missed by Reese Dixon Waters. 3-pointer missed by BJ Davis. 3-pointer missed by Reese Dixon Waters. 2-point layup missed by Miles Heide. 2-point layup missed by Miles Heide. 2-point layup missed by Miles Heide. Foul on BJ Davis. And that was the offensive stretch before they scored their 48th point. From 14 minutes left in the half to 9 minutes left in the half, it was a bunch of missed threes and missed layups.
Your starters last night went 13 for 34 from the field. 13 for 34. Elsie Harrington went 7 for 12. Dixon Waters went 4 for 12. Bird went 2 for 10. Heidi and Odin both went 0 for. Heidi was 0 for 4. Odin was 0 for 2. Those were your starters last night. That ain't good.
No, you got to be better than that. You got to be better than that. Did they have it posted on this other? Yeah, they do. Stat Broadcast is the go-to website for me for some of these things.
Gotcha.
All right, let me look this up. All right, let's split box is what I usually look at. Yeah, Harrington had 7 for 12 from the field. He was good last night.
Yes,
That was about it. Miles Bird, 6 points, 2 for 10, 0 for 6 from beyond the arc. He did have the 8 boards and the 3 assists and 32 minutes played, but the 2 for 10 from the field, man, we got to be better than that, right?
Mhm.
We got to be better than that if you're San Diego State. Miles Heidi 0 for 4 with 4 rebounds. He didn't have a great night for San Diego State last night. Your bench did pretty well. Compton had 8, Simmons had 8, Davis had 11, DeGorville had 8. Those are all solid numbers for the Aztecs bench. You look at the stat comparison. San Diego State actually shot better than Grand Canyon last night. Shot 40% from the field. Grand Canyon shot 38%, but it was the 3-pointers that really did in the Aztecs last night. Grand Canyon, 19 of 50. From the field, 10 for 21 for the 3-point mark, 48% to 17%. Free throws, pretty much even. Grand Canyon had more opportunities. It was 17 turnovers to 10 turnovers. San Diego State actually benefited from the points off turnovers. They scored 20 points off the 17 turnovers by Grand Canyon. Total rebounds was +1 for San Diego State. 37-36. They did not out-rebound Grand Canyon on the defensive end, but on the offensive end, they had 11 rebounds that led to 11 second-chance points, 35 points off the bench. San Diego State did a lot better in the paint, outscoring Grand Canyon 28-16, and then every other stat was pretty much relatively the same. But you look at the droughts that San Diego State went on. It was some pretty long droughts in the shooting department for San Diego State in the second half.
Yeah, and I think it was like the last 7 minutes of the game, the broadcaster said that they went on a 20-7 run to get it to that point at the very end of the game. So it just, they have to be better. I understand it's crowd noise. You're missing your big player in Magoon Guath, but you got to be better against a team like Grand Canyon. You can't lose that game. You have to make your free throw. That's it. That's all you have to do is make and free throw.
Yeah, make the free throws. And they actually did pretty well, like the entire game, making free throws. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Let's get to Kevin in Chula Vista wants to weigh in. Kevin, what's going on?
Yeah, hey guys. Pretty much your comments are spot on, and the foul call, it was horrible, no question about it. One thing that irritates me about this team is Miles Bird, and he's taking shots that he's having a terrible game, and you would think that somewhere the coaching staff would set him aside and say, look, it ain't happening tonight, bro. Dish this thing off. Let's get it in the hands of some other guys. The overall problem with this team, as I see it, they don't have consistent shooters. We've not had, Braden, a consistently good three-point shooter here in quite some time. You look at the hot start that Grand Canyon got off to. These guys are burying threes right and left. And I can't remember a time recently with this program that we've had that kind of player here. I think that's a big problem going into the future here. So where are we at? At this point, they're going to have to, and I was listening to the guys this morning on the morning show, they're going to have to get into the tournament. They're going to have to do well in the tournament, and that's it. That's where I think they're headed. And whether or not they can post a good enough record in the league to then combine that with the tournament remains yet to be seen. But I don't see any other pathway here unless they really, really finish strong in that tournament. They've got to either win it or come close to winning it, and they need to really finish first in league at this point. That's how I see it.
Well, they Kevin, appreciate the phone call. Metric-wise, they didn't drop a huge portion last night. I mean, they're down to 52 now in the net rankings. That's, in the field of 68. That's in a tournament spot, but now you're in the bid stealer range for the Aztecs. They got to be able to, and here's where it's going to come down to. They do have quad one games available, not too many though. Losing the Grand Canyon on the road, not going to hurt you. Losing the UNLV on the road on Saturday is going to kill you. They have to win that game. And then you get into Colorado State. Remember we talked about Colorado State potentially helping you out as a quad one game, Frank, at home on the road because they were top 75. Well, now they're 92. So now Colorado State's not going to help you out either. At Utah State, it'd be nice to win that game. You win that game, you're going to be in a really good opportunity to make the NCAA tournament. But that's another hostile play. That's a tough place to play. They're 26 in the net, Utah State. It's going to be at high altitude. It's going to be on a Saturday, 3 days after you play Colorado State on a Wednesday. Like, that's a tough ask. That's the next quad one game on your list. You go down even further. I mean, the Air Force game, you're losing points against Air Force just by showing up to play them. That's how bad they are. To really no fault of their own. They can't compete in an NIL world because they're not allowed to give out NIL. Nevada at home, that's a scary team that's going to count as a quad 2 game. Grand Canyon at home is going to count as a quad 2 game. Colorado State on the road is going to count as a quad 2 game. Utah State at home, you better hope Utah State stays in the top 30. So it could be a quad 1 game. That's 2 on the list. At New Mexico, net of 41, there'll be a quad 1 game. At Boise State, that's a quad 2 game. UNLV at home, that's a quad 2 game. As you look at the schedule, you got quad 2 and quad 3 games remaining. You have 3 quad 1 game opportunities. Utah State twice, at New Mexico. You got to be able to go 2-1 in that set. That's to me, you got to steal 1 game on the road, either at the Pit or in Logan, Utah, and you got to beat Utah State at home. Otherwise, you're going to have to win the Mountain West Conference tournament. This is why we talked about it when they lost to Troy. It's a terrible loss because there wasn't a lot of room to make up for it in conference play because the conference is down. And there are teams that are going to hurt your metrics just by playing. I mean, you can go look at the impact sheet. Go look at the impact sheet on WarrenNolan.com. When you look at that and it tells you that if the Aztecs win this game, they're going to lose points because they're playing Air Force. That's tough. That's tough. Got to be able to make some ground here in some of these games. It's not the end of the world losing to Grand Canyon last night. It's not the end of the world. It's a tough blow, but you can afford to do that as long as you take care of business against the following teams. Like UNLV, they got to be able to win that game. They can't drop a game to UNLV or Colorado State. They can't lose the game to Wyoming at home. They really can't lose the UNLV at home. They can't lose the Grand Canyon at home. They basically have to go 2-1 in the quad 1 games. And then if you got to lose an extra game, it's got to be like at Boise State or something like that. But you have to win one of those quad 1 games on the road if you're the Aztecs. And that's at Utah State at the end of the month. And that's at New Mexico at the end of February. 833-288-0973. 833-288-0973. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. Continue the college basketball conversation when we come back and start diving into baseball on the Braden Surprenant Show. Standing us from Sports Station 97 through the Fan. August of 97 to the Fan. Join us on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future. When charged with the crime since 2010, visit davidpshapirolaw.com. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. This is the Braden Surprenant Show, live and local each every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's number one sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Talking about Aztecs basketball last night. That was the only college that was playing last night. Also have the University of San Diego. What an upset it was last night for the Toreros to knock off Washington State. USD wins 96-92. Tyler Johnson, 28 points, 7 assists, 3 steals. He scored 26 of his 28 points in the second half. USD now 9-12 overall. He jumped to 3-5 in the West Coast Conference. San Diego had a 42-32 lead going into halftime. Washington State really started to pull back into the game in the second half as Ace Glass was able to put together a pretty good game in the second half for Washington State. But that's a really good win for USD. And last night, I thought was the first time, I thought it was the best that San Diego has looked since Steve Lavin has taken over as the head coach of the program. I think they're finally starting to hit some strides over there in Linda Vista. It's been a long time coming for San Diego. It's been a long time really trying to put something together in basketball. And last night was a really good showing. Now, Washington State's not a world beater. They've played a lot of good teams, haven't beaten a lot of great teams. They've played them. They haven't beaten them. David Riley is on the hot seat, according to the fans of Washington State that were disgruntled after the loss for the Cougs. But San Diego basketball, they looked really good last night with the way that they played defense. And you want to talk about teams hitting threes? San Diego hit 15 threes last night, which is unbelievable. I mean, they had guys on their team that don't even really attempt three-pointers hitting multiple threes last night. Overall, it was a great game for the Toreros. Great game to call. They played great defense. And now they got a big test against Santa Clara. Santa Clara is a tournament team coming into play USD on Saturday at the JCP. That's going to be a very difficult game for San Diego. If they can keep that game close, I think they're making the strides and the steps in the right direction. I think it's going to be very difficult for them to do that. But it's good when college basketball is all starting to jump here in town. I mean, we know all about the Aztecs. The Aztecs really set the tone. High tides raise all ships. And San Diego State has risen the tides of both UCSD and San Diego. San Diego's been the one that's kind of struggled to get to that point, as we saw UCSD make the NCAA tournament last year. But you start looking at the standings, like San Diego's trying to play their way out of the bottom four in the West Coast Conference tournament. Now, the West Coast Conference tournament is different than a lot of other tournaments. It's basically designed so Gonzaga doesn't get hosed for winning the conference outright and then having to go through a tough weekend of playing every day. But how it works is the number 1 and the number 2 seed have a bye all the way to the semifinals. And then the quarterfinals automatically have the 3 and the 4. And then the next round automatically has the 5 and the 6. And then after that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 also have byes. And then it's 9, 10, 11, and 12 are all playing in the opening round. So you got to play yourself out of the bottom 4 in the West Coast Conference to at least get yourself a bye. And with the win last night, San Diego's right there. Now, they're tied with Seattle, Washington State, and Portland in the standings. And as of that, in that spot right now, they fall into the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spot right now in the West Coast Conference. But they got mostly the bottom half of the conference that they have to play to finish up the season. And they could be as high as 5 in the conference. I mean, as of right now, they're not too far behind San Francisco. They're 2 games behind San Francisco, who currently has the 4 seed in the West Coast Conference tournament. Pacific comes in at 5, who San Diego's already split with. They got to do with Seattle, who has now won a couple of games in a row and beat USD already up in Seattle. But as of that, Toreros can be in a really interesting spot. Now, here's how it plays out in the standings. San Francisco, the top 3 teams are Gonzaga, St. Mary's, and Santa Clara. Those teams aren't dropping out of the top 3. Santa Clara beat St. Mary's already this year. We'll see what Santa Clara could do against Gonzaga. They already have 1 loss against Gonzaga. I think they play them a second time this season. We'll see what St. Mary's does against Gonzaga moving forward. But those top 3 are going to be the top 3. Then it goes to 4. And San Francisco's 5-3 in conference at 4. Pacific is 1 game behind them and a game in front of Seattle, San Diego, Washington State, and Portland, who are all 3-5. Oregon State has played an extra game. They're 3-6. And then you get to LMU at 2-7. But that is the chunk where USD is a part of. They could be anywhere between 4th in the conference to 11th in the conference based on how they play the next couple of weeks. It's wide open for the middle stage. And with every 2 spots you clear is an extra bye in the West Coast Conference tournament. That's a quick look at what San Diego has done. But the way they played last night, Frank, nice step in the right direction for USD basketball as we try to see the other teams in the city of San Diego move up the leaderboard a little bit.
Yeah, I texted you at halftime of that game last night. I'm like, the Cougs having a little bit of an issue with the Toreros tonight. And it was fun to watch. It was really, really exciting to see because I thought the game was going to be a blowout in Washington State's way, especially with how much trash talking they did on Instagram that you sent me.
Some of those were kind of funny, though. Some of those were kind of funny.
Yeah, they were hilarious. Some of them were.
You know what? They ate it afterwards, though. They post that same meme that from Community that people post about the Bills. About the fire that broke out at the in the apartment that is Washington State basketball.
Well, bravo to them. But I mean, that was That was a pleasantly surprising game. I thought the Toreros were more or less going to get boat raced in that game with Washington State being not the greatest, but you would also think superior to San Diego State. And that was as you put, it was about as perfect a game that USD could have possibly played to get
especially
that win
in the first half.
Yeah.
Especially in the first half. All right, let's flip over to UCSD. UCSD is playing Davis tonight at 6 o'clock on ESPN Plus. You can also hear it right here on 97.3 The Fan. Most of the Tritons road conference games are available on 97.3 The Fan. So we will have that game on tonight after Gwen and Chris. The Tritons got Davis, who they are tied with right now. And I just broke down the West Coast Conference standings, but UCSD is in the exact same spot relatively with San Diego in a sense that there is a gigantic chunk of everybody being within a game of each other. Now, the difference is the top teams have not separated themselves in the Big West Conference, and it's a wide open race in the Big West. Hawaii and UC Irvine currently have the lead at 5-2 atop the leaderboard. And then it's Davis, UCSD, Santa Barbara, and Long Beach all tied for third place, a game behind Irvine and Hawaii. They're all 4-3. They got a half-game lead on Northridge, CSUN, sorry, my apologies to all the CSUN people out there, who are 4-4. They have a game lead on Cal Poly, who's at 3-4. A game and a half lead on Cal State Fullerton, 2-game lead on UC Riverside, and then Cal State Bakersfield, who is in last place, is only 3.5 games back behind the leader in the Big West Conference. This is a wide open conference for UCSD, for UC Irvine, UC Davis, Hawaii. I mean, this is a big game tonight for the Tritons in trying to solidify a good spot in the tournament, because you win the tournament, you're in the NCAA tournament, and UCSD is trying to get back there for a second year in a row after winning the Big West tournament last year.
Yeah, absolutely. And a decent run for both teams as of late. I mean, UC Davis 6-4 in their last 10 games, scoring 83 points a night, rounded up. And UC San Diego 6-4 as well, and they're holding opponents to 71 points per game. So this is going to be a very, very tightly contested game tonight, which you can hear at 6 o'clock on 97.3 The Fan.
Irvine's on a 2-game losing streak right now to drop them into a tie for first place with Hawaii. One of them was a loss at Hawaii, which is a very difficult place to play in the Big West Conference, as Hawaii has the 5-2 spot in the standings as well. So you look at like teams in front of you. UC San Diego hasn't even played Irvine yet. That's going to be a big game on January 24th, which is Saturday. So that's going to be huge. For UCSD, Saturday's game against Irvine. These two games right here are big. This is a big stretch for UCSD because Davis has already beaten Irvine and are right there in the thick of things. With the win over Davis, they'd put you at 5-3 with an opportunity to tie with Irvine if you're able to knock them off on Saturday, which would put you right there in second place, right behind Hawaii. You look at UCSD and the schedule that they've played so far this year in the Big West Conference. Their losses in the Big West are to Cal State Fullerton and CSUN, as well as Cal Poly. The Cal Poly loss really hurts you in the grand scheme of things, but you already got to win over Hawaii. So you get into a position where you tie with Hawaii, you win the tiebreaker as of right now before you have to make that trip in February. So a lot to get through for UCSD still, but it's all right in front of them. And this is going to be a fun race to the finish line in the Big West Conference. We talk about the Mountain West Conference a lot. We talk about San Diego State basketball a lot, what they have to do to get in the NCAA tournament. As for UCSD, they're in a one-bid league in the in the Big West Conference, so they're going to have to win their league. And right now, that is anybody's league in college basketball. That's going to be a fun conference to watch as we get down to the nitty-gritty, Frank.
Yeah, especially as well for UC San Diego, who this is going to be their last year in the Big West. They're going to be moving to the West Coast Conference next year with USD. So a little bit more to want to beat these opponents, just like San Diego State, for the last time in their building or on the road, or to be able to win this conference in their second and final ask of doing it.
I think they got one more year. I can't keep up with all of the.
I know that
they're going to be they're going to be a member in the 2027, 2028. So they have all of next year still.
Next year, okay.
It's the following season. So this is the second to last year that they're going to be in the Big West before moving to the West Coast Conference. So it's going to be interesting to see two schools in the same conference.
Yeah.
Here in town.
It's going to be a lot of fun, too.
Yeah. It's not a lot of travel. It's 4 games for them. They get to play in San Diego minimum. When they do the 2-2, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that should be interesting. And the West Coast Conference is adding Denver too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Denver University is also being added to the West Coast Conference. Denver is going to join July 1st, 2026. So Denver will be in the conference next year. So the conference will have 10 competing teams next year, the WCC, and then 11 beginning in 2027 when UCSD becomes a member. So, a lot of moving parts with these conferences. And here's the other thing, too. We haven't gotten to this yet. It's on the horizon. We still got a couple of years. But have you noticed when everybody's TV contract ends?
Like
for the master con,
like
almost
28 or
everybody's contract is ending in 2030 or 2031 with ESPN and Fox and all that stuff. It's going to be some massive college sports realignment, which tells you a couple of things. This is why, as much as I don't like what I don't like about the Power Act 12 is this, like, stop trying to gaslight me into saying that it's Power Conference when it's not. What I do like about it for the Aztecs, they're surviving until the next push. That's why Aztecs football is very important the next couple of years. They got to make a push to get their program into a better conference. We'll talk about that on another day. When we come back, it's the baseball hour. Big move from Milwaukee and the New York Mets last night. We'll talk about it.
Come on, baby. Come on. Let's go. Oh, there we go. Did the director's cabinet give you that shirt? Did you block out the noise and just swing it? We got a bunch of guys that let the noise get into their heads and they're swinging the club. Okay. I like to think I'm making Kyle better. I've been hitting balls down the middle and Kyle's side. No, that's not good enough. All right, what goes further? Braden's drive or me throwing the football here? Oh! Shot. Wow. Hey, put that one in between commercials. Rocks. The next group coming up too. Ow! I don't know how good it is. Punch. 1840. Ha ha. Phillip Rivers.
He played quarterback in high school, by the way.
Falcon. They didn't have many quarterbacks in Colorado.
Falcon. We got here. How we playing?
I could just put it in my bag. Do you have one of those? Do you have one of these? We didn't win, but. Wow! That's Gary's 7th mulligan. I think I'll pick up that other one. Cigar guy. Trade myself to there.
That's not a bad putt. Cut. Get there!
Oh, we got a bird, right?
Under now. That was a great putt by you, by the way. I don't know why you want to be on camera.
What? One. Hey, bud. Go. Come on, baby. Come on. Let's go. Oh, there we go. Did the director's cabinet give you that shirt? Did you block out the noise and just swing it? We got a bunch of guys that let the noise get into their heads and they're swinging the club. Okay. I like to think I'm making Kyle better. I've been hitting balls down the middle and Kyle's side. No, that's not good enough. All right, what goes further? Braden's drive or me throwing the football here? Oh! Shot. Wow. Hey, put that one in between commercials. Rocks. The next group coming up too. Ow! I don't know how good it is. Punch. 1840. Ha ha. Phillip Rivers.
He played quarterback in high school, by the way.
Falcon. They didn't have many quarterbacks in Colorado.
Falcon. We got here. How we playing?
I could just put it in my bag. Do you have one of those? Do you have one of these? We didn't win, but. Wow! That's Gary's 7th mulligan. I think I'll pick up that other one. Cigar guy. Trade myself to there.
That's not a bad putt. Cut. Get there! Oh, we got a bird, right? Under now. That was a great putt by you, by the way. I don't know why you want to be on camera. What? One. Hey, bud. Go. Come on, baby. Come on. Let's go. Oh, there we go.
Did the director's cabinet give you that shirt? Did you block out the noise and just swing it? We got a bunch of guys that let the noise get into their heads and they're swinging the club. Okay. Birdie. I like to think I'm making Kyle better. I've been hitting balls down the middle and Kyle decides, no, that's not good enough. All right, what goes further? Braden's drive or me throwing the football here?
Oh!
Shot.
Wow. Hey, put that one in between commercials.
Rocks. The next group coming up too. Ow! I don't know how good it is.
Punch, 1840. Ha ha.
Come on, mate. Phillip Rivers.
God. He played quarterback in high school, by the way.
Falcon. They didn't have many quarterbacks in Colorado.
Falcon we got here. How we playing?
I could just put it in my bag.
Do you have one of those? Do you have one of these? We didn't win, but.
Make sure to listen at 1 o'clock for us to announce today's biggest fan for a chance to qualify for a night in our Odyssey suite at a future Padres game with all the fan staff. Register your name at 97tothefansd.com/biggest-fan in order to potentially have your name called. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. This is the Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego's number one sports station, 97.3 The Fan. We're going to dive into some stuff that's moving along in the NFL for the future of the NFL. Robert Kraft talked about it a couple of days ago. We didn't get to it yesterday, but we're going to talk about that in the noon hour. We are also going to talk a quick preview of the weekend's matchups in the NFL. We got some other stuff in college football we want to get to as well. That's all later on in the show. But right now, as we do each and every day during the offseason, it's time to talk about the hot stove. It's time to talk about Major League Baseball. Let's get to our Major League Baseball hour with Frank Marchese.
Don't have much to talk about today as far as a variety of things. We do have a lot to discuss, though. We talked about it yesterday on the show when it happened, but the New York Yankees were able to retain their center fielder for the next 5 years. After reports claimed that the Yankees had washed their hands of Cody Bellinger, Bellinger apparently hadn't quite washed his hands of the Yankees as he agreed to return to the Bronx on a 5-year, $162.5 million deal. Along with the deal comes a $20 million signing bonus, a full no-trade clause, and opt-outs after years 2 and 3. Bellinger will get $36.5 million this year and next, before going down to $29.8 million in years 3 through 5, according to Spotrac, and will be $34 at the end of the deal. So he could very well be going through this again at the end of his contract, at the end of his career.
Or he's going to sign another deal at age 34.
I mean, yeah, he's going to hit free agency. He's not going to stop. So
yeah, he's not going to stop playing at that age. Probably not. I look at some of these contracts and I go, like, how much are they going to continue to pay some of these players?
I have no idea, man.
We've been sent. They've been ranking the top. What is MLB.com been doing, or MLB Network been doing? Yeah. They've been ranking the best players in Major League Baseball, right? Because the Padres tweet it out all the time, right? And it's like the value of some of these players, man. You're getting a lot of bang for your buck on the Padres right now with the players that they got in the long-term contracts they have handed out. The path of the Braves that they started with signing, taking the risk of young players coming to the org, giving them massive contract extensions for not as much money, but money that they can't refuse, has remained undefeated in the best way to build a roster and keep it flexible. Padres, started things off by giving guys like Manny Machado big contracts, but They started to do the extension thing. They did it with Fernando. They did it with Jackson Merrill. Way more affordable compared to having to like overpay for a guy like Cody Bellinger where you know his production's going to go down. I sent you that tweet earlier today of the guy that stole our gimmick.
Yes.
Right, but too early.
Gimmick infringement.
About Marcus Stroman. I mean, that's a perfect case study of like, you shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do this. So back in, what was that? The last year of the he played for the Mets was 2021. So in that offseason, he was looking for a new deal, like a 5-year, $125 million contract, right? 5 years, 125. And that was a lot. That's a lot of money. Back then, it's a lot of money now. I mean, 25 a year for Marcus Stroman. And a fan tweeted out, I got to pull up the exact tweet, because he puts out that it's kind of dumb to do that. He puts out in a tweet that if Marcus Stroman wants at least $25 million a year, I'm letting him walk. That was October 10th, 2021. Marcus Stroman responded to that guy back in 2021 because he likes to do that. That's fine. Good luck replacing my production for the next 5 years, though. Athletes trend down because of their lack of work ethic, especially as they get older. I'm different. Wherever I end up, they're getting a real one who will stay on the field and compete every 5 days. Well, let's see how that worked out. So that was in the fall of 2021, which means his next 4 years, because he didn't play, he played a little bit for the Yankees last year. This would be the year 5 of that contract of $25 million a year. You know what you would have got in the Mets? Theoretically, his first year in Chicago, not bad. 2.7 WAR, 3.5 ERA at age 31. At age 32 in 2023, a 1.2 WAR, 3.95 ERA. Okay, it's not, that got worse. In 2024, at age 33, 0.8 WAR with a 4.31 ERA. By the way, he's making 25 starts in every one of these years. Made 25 starts for the Cubs in 22, made 25 starts for the Cubs in 23, made 29 starts for the Yankees in 2024. And then last year at age 34, only pitched in 9 games, 39 innings pitched, 3-2, negative 0.3 WAR, and a 6.23 ERA. Good luck replacing my production. Well, you know what? The Mets did, because it's way better than that. And by the way, this isn't like a mid-30s player. This was an early 30s player, like right after his prime. He took 2020 off, right? He had the year 2030 where he had a 10-13 record, a 3.4 WAR, and a 3.02 ERA. Marcus Stroman, good luck replacing my production. 5 years, 125. It's the overpaying. You're overpaying for free agents. Everybody's overpaying for free agents. Overpaying. There's no reason to do that when you can get kids young, get the players young, sign them to extensions. Do what the Padres did with Jackson Merrill. Now, Jackson Merrill, he is the salt of the earth because he is the guy that said, eventually, how much more do you need?
Yeah.
Great to hear that from a kid. But at the same time, some of the contracts the Padres have handed out, including ones that people say we're cooked, are still better than a lot of contracts that are handing out right now because they spending $35 million, $32.5 million on a 30-year-old never really works out because the production is not going to be what it was. Stop paying players for what they were instead of what they're going to be. I know it's the cost of doing business, but the Yankees are essentially paying for the next 2 years of Cody Bellinger and the 25.8 in the next 3 years, whatever it is.
29.8.
It's 25.8.
Oh, I saw Spotrac 29.
40. He's getting 42.5 this year. 42.5 and 26, 42.5 and 27, 25.8 and 28, onward and onward. If he decides to not opt out, which I don't know how he's going to opt out and get more money, because who's going to pay a 32-year-old Cody Bellinger more than $42.5 million?
No one.
No one. Stop doing it.
Exactly right. It was back-to-back days of trades for the New York Metropolitans in an effort to address two big needs, starting pitching and outfield. The first one came late Tuesday night when the Mets sent Luis Angel Acuna and Truman Pauly to the Chicago White Sox for center fielder Luis Robert Jr. The next one came in the form of starting pitcher last night when the Mets sent Jet Williams and Brandon Sproat to the Milwaukee Brewers for Freddie Peralta and Tobias Myers. Robert was the center of a lot of trade talks. The deadline with a cost too steep for teams to pull the trigger on, and Peralta has been the most discussed trade target this offseason. Robert is in the last 2 years of a 6-year, $50 million contract that bought him out of arbitration and has a $20 million club option after this season, while Peralta is in the final year of his arbitration and will make $8 million this year. Between the two trades, the Mets also managed to sign former friend Luis Garcia to a 1-year, $1.75 million deal.
Luis Garcia is 39 years old.
Yes, he is.
That's crazy. What prospects did they give up? Did they give up 2 top 10 prospects for one season
for
Freddie Peralta
and Tobias Myers? They gave up Jet Williams, who, to be fair, Williams was blocked. He was not playing ahead of Lindor. Now you trade for Marcus Semien. He's not getting in ahead of him. Plus, you also had Luis Angel Acuna blocking him off. You had Ronnie Mauricio blocking him off. Vientos and Beatty. You can also make the argument that they were blocking him. So there was no shot that he was going to play in New York. Brandon Sproat, not a big fan of him leaving, but I'm not going to pearl clutch when it comes to that. Peralta, I would feel a lot better about this trade if he signs an extension. I will feel so much better about it.
Yeah.
And then for Luis Angel Acuna, he's been hitting ropes in the Dominican Winter League this winter, so that's a little disappointing. And Truman Pauly's high A for Luis Robert Jr., which sounded like they got off cheap from what he was expected to, what the White Sox were trying to get for him at the deadline. So I'm good with both of those trades.
The trade for Peralta and giving up 2 top 5 prospects in the organization.
Top 10.
They're 2 top 5 according to the prospect.
Oh, in the according to
MLB.com, according to MLB.com's top 30 prospects for the New York Mets for 2026, Jet Williams is the 3rd best prospect.
Yeah, he's
Brandon
number 30
Sproat was
in
the
baseball.
5th.
Oh, I saw Sproat was the 9th.
No, he's the 5th.
Okay.
He's the 5th. So you gave up 2 top 5 prospects for 1 year of Freddie Peralta. If he doesn't sign an extension, that's a rough.
Yeah.
That's a rough deal. They're probably going to try to sign. They're probably going to. I bet you they overpay for Peralta because he wants a lot of money. It's the big reason why the Brewers ended up trading him in the first place.
Yeah. I don't like the moving of Jet Williams, but there was no shot he was going to play with everyone blocking him. And Brandon Sproat saw him last year. He was the highest touted of the 3 out of McLean, Jonah Tong, and Sproat. He was supposed to be the highest touted one, and he was the last one to come up. So I don't know if the Mets saw something in Sproat that they didn't like, that they felt okay with trading him. The Brewers were trying to get this deal done without losing Tobias Myers, but the Mets stood firm on.
Let me ask you this question.
Someone else.
You can answer on the way back. Was Jet Williams the next 3 years going to be better than Marcus Semien the next 3 years for the Mets?
He's been in their system for so long. I don't think
because that's the question.
I understand that, but you're also not going to start him.
22-year-old Jet Williams going to be better than Marcus Semien over the next 3 years? Because if the answer is yes, then trading for Marcus Semien was a mistake because you got to pay him a ton of money.
No,
but if the answer is no, then it's like, all right, well, we have to get rid of him now because we decided to have Marcus Semien be our guy.
Yeah, and I don't think Jet Williams has played in AAA yet, so that's also kind of a problem.
He played for the Nashville Sound, or no, he's listed as a Nashville Sound, which means the Brewers are going to throw him in AAA.
Yeah. I don't remember if he played in.
He played in Syracuse.
He did play in Syracuse last year.
He played 34 games in Syracuse, hit .209.
Yeah,
Not great.
Yeah, they were.
But now if you're the Brewers, because like everybody was freaking out about like, oh, the Brewers are cheap. But like the thing is they have to trade away their pitcher because they know they can't re-sign him because somebody's going to overpay for Freddie Peralta. And they can't afford him at $35 million a year or $30 million a year or whatever the heck he ends up signing for. So you might as well get something out of him instead. And this is what lies the problem, because free agency is so lucrative for these players. They don't sign deals, extensions with their team if they're close to free agency, because it's better to get in a bidding war as a free agent than it is to just sign with their team. That's different than the NFL.
And they also called this shot, too, because they said if Corbin Burns takes the qualifying offer, which he did, then they were going to trade him. They were trading Peralta because they couldn't afford to keep both. So they knew this was coming.
Right. Again, yes, there are ownership groups that don't spend money. Yes, there's ownership groups that get the luxury, the payment back, right? Mm-hmm. The collective whatever it's called.
The return.
The return from everybody else, and they pocket it. But there's also organizations that can't spend money that they don't have. And that's the point that drives me crazy on like social media, like trying to defend the Dodgers.
Bob Nightingale today. Oh my God.
Oh God. It's like, your owners are cheap. Well, you know what? There's only so much that goes around. Like, yes, Pirates owners, if you're not spending at least $100 million, you are cheap. I will say that. Okay. Everybody should be able to spend that. But if you are asking teams to spend as much as LA or close to it, and they don't have that money, it's stop it. Stop it.
Yeah, I could, if you guys saw Bob Nightingale's tweet this morning, I could still taste the shoe leather coming from that tweet. Final one for today. Yesterday was a busy day for players joining their new teams, as the newest big name additions had their introductory press conferences yesterday. Kyle Tucker was introduced to Dodger fans yesterday, where Tucker said the Dodgers' pursuit of a third straight World Series title made his decision easier.
Of course.
I'm sure that was the only reason. Between the trades for Robert Jr., Peralta, and the signing of Garcia, the Mets found some time to squeeze in the introduction of Bo Bichette, who said he is willing to put in the work this season as the Mets plan to move him to third base. Also, the Red Sox introduced Ronher Suarez after signing his 5-year, $130 million deal, and apparently taught everyone how to say his name properly. Not that it really matters, but Tucker will wear number 23 in LA, Bichette 19 in New York, and Suarez number 55 in Boston, for those of you like me who keep track of that sort of thing.
Of course, Kyle Tucker signed with the team that was the best. Wouldn't you? Again, I keep trying to tell people this. It's not the fact that the Dodgers can overspend for players because it's not going to hurt their bottom line. And players, when it comes down to the options, and I've made the extreme options, but when it comes down to the options, if you get paid the same for all three destinations and one destination is the best team in baseball, why wouldn't you sign to be on the best team in baseball?
Someone in LA, though, has already taught him the power of the beard, because his side profile looked bad yesterday, but not as bad as it did in Chicago when he had no beard.
Yeah, it's not a good look.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, you know what? Kyle Tucker's signing bonus with the Mets on the Mets offer was higher.
Yeah, it was higher. And no deferred money, by the way. The Mets offered no deferrals.
Now, the deferrals get him out of tax problems. So that's not like the worst, even though it's worth less. I don't know how the tax payoff works out. But Kyle Tucker's not going to have to pay a lot of money to the state of California, I'll tell you that.
Thanks to those deferrals, by the way, if you guys want to get even madder than you already are about it, the Dodgers are paying Shohei Ohtani and Kyle Tucker $3 million total in salary this year. Ohtani gets $2 million in payroll, and Kyle Tucker gets $1 million.
Yeah, but what does that like really mean in the grand scheme of things?
It's just funny.
Because they're taking that money and they're putting it into an account that then it's leaving their pockets this year. It's not like they're going to have this gigantic bill in 10 years from now. They're still taking that money. So they're still paying that money. And the AAV counts for some of that, right? He's still getting 40. Kyle Tucker still counts for 57 towards the cap. I love crushing the Dodgers.
Yeah, can we just have the brain dead conversation and not bring logic into it?
No, I'm not going to sound like an idiot on the radio. I just like the $57 million to the A. They're still getting
Yeah, they're
put
still
back.
they're still getting the AAV hit.
Unless the AAV only counts for 1 million and 2 million, I really think there's no reason to bitch about them getting 1 or 2 million this year.
But that's it. That's all they're making.
What does that mean? That means nothing to
Dodger fans thinks it means something.
It doesn't mean anything.
Dodger fans think it means something.
It means nothing. Like
they think it means they have even more money than they already have.
They don't. They're taking that. So the 2 million that Ohtani's making this year is going into his pocket right now, and then the 68 million is going somewhere else into a fund that then gets sent to Ohtani in the next year. They're basically doing that for tax reasons. He's still getting the money. Now, what they've done in the past is they've usually put it in a fund and it collects interest. I don't think they're doing that for Ohtani. I don't know what they're doing for Kyle Tucker or Mookie Betts or the other players that have had deferred money.
See,
but the whole deferral thing.
Go Aztecs gets it. Go Aztecs gets it.
Yeah, exactly. The whole deferred money thing. They're still spending it. Like, it's not like, well, we're only spending 2 million. So easy. What a loophole. Those are people that don't understand how money works or math. When we come back,
money is a mysterious mistress.
When we come back, the impact that this move has for the Brewers and the Mets on the trade and move of Freddie Peralta. Where does that lead? And how does that impact the Padres? We'll talk about that when we come back as our baseball hour on the Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. And a tweet did come out like a minute ago, Frank, on the baseball stuff. Maybe we'll talk about that in the next segment.
That's cool. We're off air.
Oh, that's fun.
At least according to the message I just got. So YouTube, welcome. You're the only ones that are getting us at the moment right now, apparently.
Adam's going to be running down here.
There we go. Now we're back.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, the MLB Network tweeted out Dave Roberts. Dave Roberts with the sitting down with Bob Costas. I mean, tell me? I mean, that is something I do not want to watch nor listen to. But the quote from Dave Roberts about putting Miguel Rojas into the game in the World Series, I just felt that I needed to get him involved. I felt that he was going to find a way to will himself on base. Give me a break. Give me a break, dude. Are you kidding me? Give me a break.
I mean, that's just called getting used to sniffing your own farts.
I mean, dude, like really, let me tell you how easy it is to be like from the scheme parts of like being a manager. The manager job in baseball is designed to you have to make sure your team is all on the right page in terms of like the vibes in the clubhouse and like emotions, and that's what you're there for. Team morale. Dodgers players love Dave. They like playing for Dave. Fine. He does a good job with that. But let me ask this question. If Dave, I've asked this question multiple times on there. If Dave Roberts and Bud Black over the last 8 years switched jobs, if Bud Black was the manager of the Dodgers and Dave Roberts was the manager of the Rockies, are the Rockies make it to the World Series every year?
No. As a matter of fact, they wouldn't.
Anything different happen with the Dodgers?
No.
He's filling out a lineup card that is the best, one of the best 25 players, 26 players in the world. I felt he was going to find a way to will himself on base. Oh my God. Crazy. No, Dave, your team's good, man. Like it's not you, dude. Like you're not doing anything that's that crazy. You're not doing anything that's like, oh man, I just really knew. You're either that means you're a psychic. And if that's the case, why are they wasting all this money on these good players? They can go just be you're just gonna know before it happens. Miguel Rojas gonna will his way on base. Come on, man. Come on.
And you're sitting in here complaining about it. You're listening. You're a Dodger fan sitting in a radio station.
I want to know. See, I want to know.
Sitting in a chat room for the Padre radio station complaining that we're talking about the Dodgers.
Hey. I want to know what Isaac listens to the show. Like, there's something about the show he likes. Otherwise, he wouldn't listen to it. So I want to know what segments he likes the most. I mean, we haven't really talked about the Dodgers at all. We've talked about how messed up the system is in Major League Baseball. It's not the Dodgers' fault. They have the resources to benefit from it. It's more of a baseball problem. But we mentioned the Dodgers for 2 seconds on what is a ridiculous post by MLB Network. Just on it so fast. There's got to be something he likes about the show. I'd love to know.
Bless you.
I'd love to know.
Brother, read a book. Do charity work.
Read a book. Is that what you said? Read a book?
Pick up trash on the side of the highway. Do something productive with your life. Please.
I'm just saying, dude. Isaac
volunteer at the fire department.
He's got to be there every day. Anytime you mention the Dodgers, he's on it so fast. So he's listening or he's watching the whole time. I'd love to know I want to know what he likes about the show. I want to know what he likes about the show. No. Is that it? That's just it? So you've just been listening? Well, I appreciate you sticking around. It's great. 833-288-973. 833-288-973. Oh, man. Here we go. I'm going to make fun of MLB now for a second.
Please. Don't let me stop you. I'm going to be over here trying my best to stop you.
All right. I'm going to make fun of Major League Baseball here. Maybe it's new era. Maybe I can make fun of new era. Did you see the new era caps?
No.
Okay, so the trend right now, or it was the trend, and I have a lot of those hats, but no rivals. And I think there was a brand before that. There was an original brand with the upside down hats.
Yeah.
Right. That particular sense of style, I like it. It's good for college.
I didn't get it.
In Major League Baseball fashion, they're like 3 years late because they have just announced new upside down lids for Major League Baseball. Here, I'll show it to you. I think I could present it via the share screen portion of my deal. They are now deciding to do this. What do I have to do?
They're putting a C upside down. Wait a minute.
Yeah, they put the C upside down. That's exactly what they did.
Brother.
I love it. Major League Baseball.
Brother.
MLB is 7 years behind everything. Okay, this is probably more 4 years behind. They are 4 years behind everything. They're so far behind, they didn't even use the Miami Marlins logo. They used the Florida Marlins logo. The side logos are cool.
The side logos are cooler than the front.
Where they have like the traditional, like they get the Met at Wrigley Field, like Marlins 30 years.
Side logo.
The fact that they picked two of the hats to be the Reds and the Cubs with the upside down C is amazing. What are we gonna do? Flip a C upside down? They had to reverse it. They had to put it backwards. Oh man. Come on. Like, I think I like my upside down hats from No Rivals. I think they make some cool ones where it says like frogs upside down, whatever. The logo upside down is ridiculous.
There is some 75-year-old doofus sitting in New Era corporate or MLB corporate going, this is cool. The children are going to love this. Nah, dude. No. Like what is that the old Milwaukee Brewers one behind the, like where, like in the bottom, like the very, very bottom right? Is that the old school Milwaukee Brewers? Oh no, that's the Pirates.
That's the Pirates. I need to see the other ones.
I can't even see what the one is. That
it's the Rays. It's the Rays. Okay, you know what I want? This is what I want. I want the Ray skateboarding upside down. That's what I want.
No, that's called that's called him falling. That's
what I want. I want that one. Let me see if I can find. Do they have the other ones? New Era. I'm going to look them up now. New Era upside down caps.
Oh.
What's the Padre one? Oh my God. There's a couple Mets ones that are pretty fire. Not going to lie.
This is going to be so cool for the youths.
No, don't share it. I'm still looking for it.
I'm good with the Williams F1 stuff. I'll go with that.
That's the New Era's website. I'm trying to find the.
I'm not a Williams guy, but by the way, if you're
foul on Adam Paul, not everything upside down, Slam. There's a lot of good upside down hats. They had to put some of the hats backwards. They're sold out, dude. Diamondbacks lid sold out. It's a cool looking Diamondbacks lid. It's just upside down. Here, do you want to?
Okay, sure.
Diamondbacks lid sold out. Red Sox lid sold out. A's lid sold
What's
out.
What's an upside down B?
It's just backwards. They're putting the letters backwards. What's the? I got to see the. God, no, I don't want 10% off. Loading more products. You've reached the end of our collection. That's it. They don't have all the Padre. They have 13 teams.
By the way,
13 hats. They have the Diamondbacks, the A's, the Red Sox, the Cubs, the Mets, Phillies, Giants, and that's it. There's got to be other ones on here because I just saw they're like new ones that they just put out.
By the way, we saw the F1 stuff there just a second ago on the stream. If you are new to being an F1 fan and someone suggests that you root for Ferrari, it is very important that you punch that person in the throat. That is a burden that I carry that I wish no one else to carry. Do not be a Ferrari fan.
The Pirates lid is kind of fire.
Well, it's the old spring training. It's their old logo.
Yeah, check it out. Check it out on YouTube here. It's an upside down pirate lid. It's sold out. They sold out.
Of course it's sold out. I went to it.
Yeah, look at that. Okay, maybe I'm on board now.
That's their spring training logo flipped upside down.
It's money, dude. You know what? I want to see these guys wear this in a game. Because they did for the All-Star game, they did the one with the fish hook hats that like are important. The little string that everybody thought was for golf tees out here on the West Coast. No, it's for fishing.
Mike,
fishing
I'm
lures on
not
there.
in control of this, Mike. That this is Braden searching.
I got to find the Padre one though. I bet you the Padre one's fire. Well, I'm going to talk myself into buying one of these now. Pirates guys sold out. Oh, the Rays one's sick.
Oh, let's just scroll through it here. It's an upside down T.
Upside down TB with the Ray.
Yo would look even cooler. I'm gonna be honest with you. It would look even cooler if it was the right side up.
No,
and they wore it every day.
No. Stop.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm being too.
You know who'd rock this? You know who'd rock this upside down Rays lid is my boy Eli Deason. He'd be rocking that lid for sure. That's a money lid right there. They don't have every team though. Padres like, we're not participating in this.
Great. Good. Thank you.
Come on, man, get the Mets one.
No,
the Mets one's fire, dude. Look at this. You know what? This strikes me as Carlos Beltran right here. That's what that strikes me as. That's Mike Piazza level right there. They got the black hat, the blue bill.
That's
62 to 2002, 40th
anniversary logo. Why? Okay. Oh.
That's great. Come on, man. Upside down.
What
lids.
does the 40th anniversary logo have anything to do with?
It's retro. It looks sick. Come on now.
Oh, God. Then just do a retro hat.
Bobby Bonilla retro cap.
He draws the foul.
It's upside down because it makes Mets fans want to be upside down when they participate in Bobby Bonilla Day.
Brother.
I love it. All right, when we come back, we'll talk about the Freddie Peralta deal. How does that affect the rest of the National League? As we continue the Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego Storm Sports Station 97 through the Fan. 11:43 on a Thursday. It's January 22nd. Did you know that, Frank? Do you know it's January 22nd?
I did. I
Did you know that yesterday?
I had the sense yesterday that it was coming.
Poor Frank, man. Frank hung out at work yesterday a little bit longer because he had a Zoom doctor appointment thing.
Uh-huh.
So can't do that in the car, right? Wasn't enough time to drive home in time to do it. So it's like, oh, I'll stay out and wait for work. Guy starts getting angry. Guy starts getting frustrated. Time keeps flowing off the clock. What in the world are these people doing? Why haven't they called yet? I can't believe it. And then what happened?
The call was today. Wasn't yesterday. It was today.
Happens. And so now, see, a lot of the time, and this is Frank brought up a good part. A lot of the times, this happens. You're like, that was dumb.
Yeah, it's
and then you laugh at yourself. You're like, all right, time to continue on with my day. But the problem with that is, with every going second that ticked off the clock as Frank was sitting here at the office, traffic started to build and build and build and build. Now, off air, I have seen a couple of things that have made Frank angry. Sometimes it's the Mets. A lot of time it's the Mets. but the angriest I have ever seen Frank driving in traffic. I mean, it is like new level angry that I have not seen. And so now knowing
it's not necessarily the traffic, it's the incompetence surrounding the reason why traffic happens.
Okay, let's not get you on it. I don't need to be on the warpath here. But yes, we all get angry in traffic. So not only did Frank get mad at himself by sitting here.
It was my fault.
But now he's even more angry because now he had to sit in traffic on the way home. So take some deep breaths. Hopefully it's not a stress level assessment.
No, it's just a general, hey, are we doing good kind of thing.
Yes.
I get a $50 gift card out of it, which is nice.
That's the real reason why we did it.
Yeah, that's the reason why I'm doing this.
And because of that, we know that today is January 22nd.
Yes, it is.
Well done. All right, let's get to the today's sports thread.
You know that group chat? The one that's always blowing up with the biggest sports takes, debates, and breaking news?
You got barbecue back there, and you didn't invite me?
Yeah, we've got that too. Welcome to the Sports Thread, where we break down the top 5 stories in sports, just like you would with your crew.
Oh, no! Disaster! What a bad idea!
No filters, no silence, just real talk. Brought to you by QC Kinetics. Stop sitting on the sidelines. QC Kinetics gets you back in the game without surgery. To learn how, visit QCkinetics.com.
To comment to Juan in the chat, as I saw you put it up there.
Juan's had a good comment day today.
Imagine if I had to live in LA traffic. Listen, it's one thing if I know the traffic is coming. Like I knew it was going to take me 2 hours to drive from Babylon to Manhattan every day. I knew that was going to be the case. So I don't get mad at that. It's the getting backed up in 20 minutes worth of traffic because people can't figure out how to merge from 2 lanes into one without slowing everything down to a stop. That's what drives me nuts. Anyway, moving on.
Number 1.
We're not going to I'm not going to ask a question about this because of the other connotations to this, but this was a story that was going around yesterday. That San Francisco Giants outfielder Jung-Hoo Lee was briefly detained by U.S. Customs and Border Protection at LAX yesterday due to a minor paperwork issue after arriving from South Korea. The matter was quickly resolved in cooperation with him, the Giants, and Major League Baseball, and he was cleared to enter the country. Giants officials emphasized there were no political issues or contraband involved. Lee is expected to attend the team's Fan Fest, which is why he was coming back to the U.S. this weekend, and will soon join Korea's national team for the World Baseball Classic preparations, continuing a busy stretch that has included helping the Giants expand their presence in Korea. So that was a thing that was being reported yesterday, that Jung-Hoo Lee was detained at LAX yesterday.
I mean, that's just like also being like talked to. It's not like he was like thrown in jail.
No, exactly.
There was a miscommunication. He was missing a paper that he needed or something like that.
Yeah. So
which happens to everybody that goes to different countries. If you're missing information that you're supposed to have, they worked it out. Politicians in LA got involved to help him out. Giants and MLB were on the phone. Very quick deal. I think a lot of people wanted to make a lot of this for both sides of the political spectrum, but Jung-Hoo Lee flew back from Korea. He's going to San Francisco. He was missing some paperwork. They found the paperwork. They fixed it. No story here.
Yeah, no, exactly. But that was something that was going around that we just wanted to.
Number 2.
Air Force has suspended men's basketball coach Joe Scott indefinitely while the school investigates concerns related to the treatment of cadet athletes. The academy did not provide specifics about the allegations. Scott said he will cooperate fully and declined to further comment during the investigation. Assistant coach John Jordan will serve as the interim coach starting with this past Saturday's game against Nevada. The Falcons are struggling this season at 3-14, and Scott, in his 6th season of his second stint at Air Force, holds a 97-183 overall record with the program. Scott previously led Air Force to an NCAA tournament appearance in 2003 to 2004, and later coached at Princeton and Denver before returning in 2020. Now, this is a little bit different because this is not student athletes. This is cadet athletes. So how should schools like Air Force balance accountability and due process for coaches with the unique expectations and pressures placed on cadet athletes?
Did they say what he was being accused of?
No,
it was just like because I will have no idea until you find out what exactly he did. Because usually it's like, what is he possibly doing? And it's like, oh, that's what was going on. That's kind of ridiculous. It's interesting because of the fact that there was a big article on him when they came to play San Diego State about how difficult it is to be the head coach at Air Force. The guy's stuck with the program. He stayed there despite the fact that they have no NIL, despite the fact that they can't compete in this day and age of college athletics. They do things, run as a government institution. These are government employees, these cadets, right? And so it's taxpayer funded, all this other stuff. Can't do NIL, yada, 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 yada. And so it was like the article was praising this guy, and now all of a sudden he's under investigation from the school. You never know if the school is overreaching or if the guy did something really, really bad. So until we find out, it's going to be I'll have my opinion when that happens.
There you go.
Number 3.
FIFA said it received more than 500 million ticket requests for the FIFA World Cup in 2026, highlighting massive global demand for the tournament hosted by the U.S., Mexico, and Canada. Requests were especially strong from fans in Europe and South America, and FIFA acknowledged that it will not be able to accommodate everyone despite offering limited low-price tickets. Oh boy. Low-price tickets after backlash over high costs. This announcement also comes in the wake of people declining 16,000 tickets, I believe. 17,000 tickets. Were put up were declined because of the political atmosphere here in the U.S. Does overwhelming demand and high ticket price risk turning the World Cup into an event primarily for wealthy fans, or do alternative fan experiences meaningfully preserve its global accessibility?
Well, the thing with FIFA is like you cannot resell the tickets except for their website that they get a percentage of. So every time a ticket gets sold or resold, they're making more money off of it. So I think you know the answer to that question.
Exactly.
They don't really care.
No.
The more it gets sold, the more money they make.
FIFA, by the way, remember, is a non-profit organization.
Yeah, just like the NFL used to be a non-profit organization. As long as the corporation doesn't make any money, it's non-profit.
Yeah, they have $1 billion.
Non-profits are really looking good in these last couple of weeks of the world, huh?
They have $1 billion in the bank as a rainy day reserve, according to former President Sepp Blatter.
We like to call that an endowment.
That's
one. That's what all the major universities have, as well as non-profit institutions.
That's one hell of a rainy day fund.
Grand Canyon just flat out said, we're for profit. That's it. At least they just say it, right?
Yeah, good on them. Being honest.
Number 4.
Former U.S. Open champion Wyndham Clark said he feels conflicted about Brooks Koepka's return to the PGA Tour after his stint with LIV Golf. Clark said he's glad to see Koepka back because it strengthens the tour competitively, but also believes Koepka benefited too easily from leaving, making significant money, and then returning. Koepka, who left for Live Golf in 2022 on a deal reportedly worth over $100 million, is rejoining the PGA Tour under a new returning member program that includes financial penalties such as forfeiting equity shares, missing eligibility for major FedEx Cup bonuses, and making a $5 million charitable donation. While Clark acknowledged the penalties are substantial, he still feels the situation highlights frustrations for players who stayed, even as he admits Koepka's return ultimately benefits the tour and its members. Do the PGA Tour penalties for returning Live Golf players strike the right balance between deterrence and reconciliation, or do they still reward those who left at the expense of loyal players?
Based on like the path back, it's, well, we really only want the good golfers back. So let's put in a rule to make it only the good golfers that really move the needle for us. And then based on the penalties that we have seen put on Brooks Koepka, did he really lose?
No.
He's coming out a winner out of this. Who's the losers? Guys that stayed in the PGA Tour, not named Rory McIlroy, who already made the most money in the PGA Tour. That's how that works out. So, yeah, I mean, if you're a golfer in the PGA Tour and you stayed and you decide not to take the money, it didn't really benefit you that much. Unless you get to cast a check of as much money as the guys that went to Live in this new equity program that they put in revenue sharing that they did because everybody went to Live Golf. Unless the guys are making $80 million in that, the real winners are the guys that went to Live and are coming back. They get the best of both worlds. 18 games, the NFL. Is it inevitable, or is this where the players finally push back? We'll talk about it next.
Bet tonight.
Not a bad idea.
That I'll have more hits than you.
Let's do it right now.
How much you want to bet?
We'll do $5.
Oh God!
Oh, it hits the ball in the air. Oh, sick, dude. What a great leadoff! What a great leadoff!
Yeah. You want to be mic'd up?
Oh. No, Rick. There's the Joel we know. Well, you're lucky I'm a huge target at first, dude.
Someone gassed.
Shell's got to get us in, though. We're screwed next at bat. That's not great.
Zion. Are you? That is the saddest thing. Are you insane? That is sad. No confidence.
You better get a hit now.
It's like Moneyball. He's got no confidence. Ugly girlfriend.
Come on, Sam.
Oh, hose him!
Oh, we got it. Can we get a first baseman that can catch? One time, Matt. Nice. All right.
Glasses on too. That's why.
Oh, damn it. Can we score some runs? Play first base. All of a sudden, it's locked down.
Who bats after Q?
I think it's the other team.
Oh,
Go!
Go!
Show Braden how to run home. Oh, damn it. Got onto that bat. Hey, the Surprenant suck. Come on, Cello.
I can play cello.
Oh, look at the throw.
Oh my God.
Oh, pick me, dude. You can't see it. It sucks.
I can't see anything.
Oh, I crawled back. Did you ask him to buy you a beer after that? Hey. Got us beer, dude.
He does.
Dude, yeah, Ethan, seriously, dude.
I know. Hey, Ethan, sit next one. You don't boo nobodies. That's what I'm hearing.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Nice ball, Matt. Nice job.
I'm the best.
Hey, good job. Hey, we won. Nice job. Good job.
Yeah. Good game, guys. Good game. Good game. Good game. Good game. Where do you want me to sign, sir?
Like where you're always.
Don't set the Fox.
No, nobody makes me sign. But I'll whatever you need for your kids or whatever, like sign ball or anything. Let me know.
You're all over it.
Bet tonight.
Not a bad idea.
That I'll have more hits than you.
Let's do it right now.
How much you want to bet?
We'll do $5.
Oh God!
Oh, it hits the ball in the air. Oh, sick, dude. What a great leadoff! What a great leadoff!
Yeah. You want to be mic'd up?
Oh.
No, Rick.
There's the Joel we know. Well, you're lucky I'm a huge target at first, dude.
Someone gassed.
Shell's got to get us in, though. We're screwed next at bat. That's not great.
Zion. Are you? That is the saddest thing. Are you insane? That is sad. No confidence.
You better get a hit now.
It's like Moneyball. He's got no confidence. Ugly girlfriend.
Come on, Sam.
Oh, hose him.
Oh, we got it. Can we get a first baseman that can catch? One time, Matt. Nice. All right.
Glasses on too. That's why.
Oh, damn it. Can we score some runs? Play first base. All of a sudden, it's locked down.
Who bats after Q?
I think it's the other team.
Go! Go!
Show Braden how to run home.
Oh, damn it. Got onto that bat.
From the gas lamp to North County, no one knows America's finest city like he does.
You can't just punt on a Manny Machado prime use.
He's a fourth-generation San Diegan, born and raised in the heart of this community. Passionate, opinionated, and always bringing you the real talk on your teams, your city, and everything in between.
Braden totally knows his stuff. He's ready for the next step. That guy is good.
Live and local, it's the Braden Surprenant Show.
But I think Braden's one of the up-and-coming young stars in the media game in San Diego.
Now, here's your host, Braden Surprenant.
Here, lunchtime hour, 97 to the Fan. I'm Braden Surprenant. This is the Braden Surprenant Show, live and local each every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's number one sports station, 97.3 The Fan. We are broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We know how. Padres have announced this. I said it to Frank. They're part of this new kind of bar that they have opened up.
Oh, yeah. That's
in the Old City Tacos building. We're going to talk about that next in the next segment because it's our noon lunchtime hour, drink time hour segments. It looks pretty cool. Fox 5 and KUSI did a report on it, but the Padres are involved in some of the companies that help do with the food at Petco Park are involved with this new bar that's going to have some bites and some nice food. It's a 1970s inspired bar. So we'll talk about that when we come back. It looks pretty fun. Looks pretty interesting. Let's get to what we wanted to talk about in this noon hour. And that is the NFL. We mentioned briefly, and I got to get paid off the tees, but so Freddie Peralta gets traded to the Mets last night. Mets give up 2 top 5 prospects, and to me the only way this makes a lot of sense is if Freddie Peralta signs a contract extension with the New York Mets. I know the Padres were interested in potentially getting Freddie Peralta. With Freddie Peralta now off the board, it's got to pivot some things a little bit in the National League. To me, there's not a lot of options out there now via trade for a starting pitcher. It's time to start looking at the Nick Martinez, Lucas Giolito's, Justin Verlanders of the world if you're the San Diego Padres, Frank.
I'd still be looking for a trade. I would be looking at guys like bringing back Mackenzie Gore. I think he would be a solid fit. You're going to have to give up a decent amount to be able to get him, but I think Mackenzie Gore coming back should be the target. If could also try, I don't know how willing you would be to have Cal Quantrill come back, but that could also be another look that you can give.
People who are familiar with the organization.
I'm not really sold on Cal Quantrill.
I agree.
Mackenzie Gore, $5.6 million as he avoids arbitration. So he'd be the next option. But I would imagine you'd probably have to give up more for Mackenzie Gore than Freddie Peralta.
I don't know.
Right? You would have 2 years of control of Mackenzie Gore, and he's 26 years old. I know Freddie Peralta is one of the better pitchers in Major League Baseball, but they got 2 top 5 prospects for that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a rental, making $8 million. So I would imagine you'd have to give up something more for that for Mackenzie Gore if you're going to make that trade. I think you could get that trade at the deadline, though. More than
probably.
the offseason. But in terms of right now going into the season, it's time to pivot now to the free agent market that might be out there for pitching. The one that made Freddie Peralta so attractive, it was a 1-year, $8 million deal that he gets in his last year of arbitration. Like that to me made that deal significant. That's what made that deal attractive to the San Diego Padres. But since now he's off the board, it's going to be fine. It's going to be hard to find somebody like that. Like Dustin May, I think is going to be available at the trade deadline. And if he pitches to a point where the Cardinals can trade him, he's going to be worth trading for at the trade deadline. And he's going to cost a little bit less in terms of monetary value because the Cardinals would have paid probably 60% of his contract by that point, almost 70% of his contract by that point in the season. So I don't think there's a lot of just gimme trades out there. Like same price range, Trevor Williams at age 33 with the Nationals getting $7 million. Like, is he worth trading for?
No.
It's a local kid, right? With Rancho Bernardo High School. I mean, but he's not worth $7 million. Not if Freddie Peralta is worth $8 million. But here's the biggest conversation of this that has come out of the Milwaukee Brewers situation was, the people there's a clear division when it comes to baseball fans right now in the MLB. It is the people that are tired of seeing the Dodgers sign everybody, and it's the people that say, "Oh, it's all the little guys' fault." It's not the top 1%'s fault. It's the little guys' fault. And those people, like you saw, like Bob Nightingale put his tweet out there about all the players the Dodgers were able to sign, and the organizations decided not to sign. It's not like they decided not to sign them. They didn't have the funds to sign those players unless they paid over what the guy is worth, which would in sense cripple the organization. Those are not good business decisions. The only one that was like a little bit I'm on Bob Nightingale's side is like the Red Sox not signing Mookie Betts to a long-term deal is mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, this is the tweet that Nightingale put out this morning. With all the vitriol directed towards the Dodgers, remember, the Red Sox chose not to sign Mookie Betts and trade him to L.A. Atlanta walked away from Freddie Freeman. The Angels declined to match Shohei Ohtani's offer. The Astros and Cubs did not want to keep Kyle Tucker.
Hang on a second.
First of all,
what do you mean they didn't want these guys? Like that's crazy to me.
That is the tweet.
Come on, Bob.
Like I said, I could still taste the shoe leather from the Dodger boot on this one.
Easy.
This is, first of all, who's complaining about Mookie Betts being a Dodger? No one. Who's complaining about Freddie Freeman being a Dodger? No one.
The Braves fans.
Well, who's complaining about Shohei Ohtani being a Dodger? We're complaining about him being a Dodger for $2 million a year in the deferred money. Shohei Ohtani is where this vitriol really started. The people we're complaining about are the egregious, the Tyler Glasnows, where you're signing him and more than half of his contract is deferred. The Blake Snells, where you're signing him and more than half of his contract is deferred. Tanner Scott, Edwin Diaz, Kyle Tucker, those are the guys that we're complaining about. 3 of the 4 guys you mentioned, we don't have a problem with.
Yeah, because those are like the first big stars on those teams.
Yes, exactly. That was the beginning of it. Ohtani was the beginning of the vitriol when you saw how much deferred money there was. After Ohtani is where you start to see the complaining about the Dodgers. Mookie Betts was traded by Boston. He was the first big star there. Who's complaining about Mookie Betts? Freddie Freeman signed with the Dodgers. Now, I'm going to stand back away from the whole, well, his agent didn't give him Atlanta's offer, because I think that's been debunked, if I remember correctly, that his agent did give the Braves offer to him. But no one's complaining about Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman being Dodgers. Who's complaining about that?
I got to look. Well, here's the thing you got to look at from the other perspective of, I don't think anybody's really complaining about those either, but, you know, you got to put the case for, you know, when these players were free agents, right? So like Mookie, the last year Mookie Betts was on the Red Sox, he was 27 years old. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not 27 now. He's in his 30s, okay? I just got to make sure, because the age always throws me. Yeah, because Xander's listed as 27 years old. So they had David Price under contract on a 7-year, $217 million contract. They had JD Martinez on a 5-year, $110 million contract. They had a Rick Porcello 4-year, $82 million contract on the books. That was his last year of the deal. They signed Nathan Eovaldi to a 4-year, $68 million contract. Mookie Betts was making $20 million in arbitration age 27. So you would be paying, like, it was a big contract that they would have handed out. I still think the Red Sox probably should have handed out that contract.
Yes.
But they knew Xander Bogaerts was going to opt out after 2022. Because Xander Bogaerts is making $12 million and then $20 million in 2020 and $20 million in 2021. Who knows what the finances were for the Red Sox at that point in time. But with Chaim Bloom over there, I mean, the Red Sox payroll that year was $242 million. Like nobody wanted to go over the luxury tax back then, right?
Yeah.
No, and they were already over it because the luxury tax numbers were different back then.
It was $200 million, was it not?
I'd have to look at
and then they put the color.
No. So the luxury tax levels for 2019, when this was this conversation about the Red Sox and Mookie Betts, the Boston Red Sox were paying $242 million. $242 million for their payroll. The luxury tax threshold for 2019, you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
$206 million was the first threshold. $226 million was the second threshold. And $246 million was the third threshold of the luxury tax. So with that was the penalties, right? Was the extra penalties. And at that point in time, nobody wanted to pay the luxury tax threshold penalties, right? Nobody wanted to do that. And so the Red Sox, at the time, were near the top of the cap. They're already over the third threshold. How much more money were they expected to pay on their payroll? They're already paying $242 million. They had, at that point, just won a World Series, right? Didn't they win in 2019?
Yes.
And so now, with all these guys under contract...
They just beat the Dodgers.
With all these guys under contract, right? Because they had a lot of Red Sox under contract.
It's 2018. They won.
Okay. So this is the year after they won the World Series. With all these guys under contract, they had already made the decision on players. They gave Xander Bogaerts the money. And they gave David Price a big contract that they had to pay. And you know what they did? They paid JD Martinez a 5-year, $110 million deal. Now, here's the deal. Like, was it a bad idea to give JD Martinez a big contract instead of Mookie Betts? Probably. But they are not spending. They're not going to spend money they don't have.
These are the conversations that you end up having when you strip all context away from a conversation.
Right. So, like, at that point in time, they had already spent the money on other players, and they really didn't have the money to spend on Mookie Betts unless they wanted to go way over the luxury tax and then are paying almost 50% of their threshold, whatever it is, to other teams to play. Teams don't want to do that. And at that point in time, they're not viewing that as an expense. They're using that as a penalty. Back when the luxury tax was actually somewhat of a penalty. If you look at the Dodgers that year, in 2019, the year before they got Mookie Betts on the books on a trade, which, by the way, they fleeced the Red Sox with that deal. The Dodgers were spending $210 million. The Red Sox were paying $34 million more on their payroll than the Dodgers. The Dodgers, getting up to that point, could give Mookie Betts that kind of money. They had Hyun-Jin Ryu coming off the books. They had Russell Martin for $20 million coming off the books. They had Rich Hill at $18.6 million coming off the books. They had David Freese at $4.5 million coming off the books into the 2020 season when they ended up trading for and signing Mookie Betts. That's a lot of money coming off the books. Their payroll is going to get down to $180 million. They could go make that happen, right?
Yeah.
So when you look at the perspective, the Red Sox at the time couldn't pay for Mookie Betts because they already spent the money. So that's strike one on the deal, which, by the way, as we said, nobody's complaining about Mookie Betts being on the Dodgers, but that's strike number one. Now it sounds like, speaking of, did you talk this into existence?
I must have done.
We're going to talk about that in a second. We're going to get to that in a second. I'm still in the middle of my little
in the
deal
chat.
here.
We've seen it. We're in the middle of another conversation.
Mackenzie Gore is going somewhere else.
Yeah,
and it's the American League, and I don't know what to trade it. We'll let you know that on the way back. Go back to Bob Nightingale's tweet. What was the next one on the list?
Bob Nightingale's was Freddie Freeman was the next one.
Freddie Freeman. When did Freddie Freeman sign with the Dodgers? Do we remember off the top of our head? That was after they won their World Series, correct?
And they were 19.
So that would be, was that 2020 or 2021? 2021, Freddie Freeman was not on the Dodgers. That would be 2022.
The heck won the World Series in 2019?
2022 was the first year. So they won it in 21. So how old is I can't tell with these ages because they flip it again. Because Max Muncy's 35 this year. Freddie Freeman's 36 this year. All right, so in 2022 was the first year of Freddie Freeman. Okay, so 2021 was his last year as a member of the Atlanta Braves. And if Fangraphs for some reason could work on my computer without shutting off my computer every 3 seconds, it would be a lot easier to do this. Let's go back to Atlanta. Atlanta.
He was 32 his first year with the Dodgers in 2022.
Okay. How old is Max Olson?
Matt Olson.
Let's
see. Matt Olson.
At that point in time.
In 2022, Matt Olson was 28.
28 years old. Okay.
And that was his first year.
And that was his first year. So Atlanta, here's the deal with the Freddie Freeman deal. Atlanta had just won the World Series. How old was Freddie? 30-something?
32.
He was 32 years old.
4 years older.
Okay. The payroll for the Braves in 2022 was $187 million. In 2021, with Freddie Freeman on the roster, again, just a black screen every 2 seconds because God forbid this website works. The payroll is $146 million. But this is what the Braves did, okay? Freddie was 32, correct?
Yes.
And Olson was 28.
Yes.
They let the older guy walk because that has worked out for Atlanta in the past. They let the older player walk and said, thanks for the memories. And they let Freeman walk, and they signed Matt Olson instead.
I think they traded for Matt Olson because I believe that's how Shea Langoliers.
That was a trade and sign.
Yes.
So they let Freeman walk, and then they acquired Matt Olson and extended him to, by the way, a contract, okay, that is not the ones that they were signing at the time. They were signing these young players to these long-term deals when they're super young, right? They were signing the Ozzy Albies of the world. They were signing the Ronald Acuna Jr.'s of the world. They were signing these guys in their early 20s. You know who missed the boat on that? Freddie Freeman. And so there was a time where the Braves were signing young players to long-term contracts. They weren't handing out long-term contracts to older players. They traded for Matt Olson, who was 28 years old. They essentially replaced Freddie Freeman with, at the time, a younger version of Freddie Freeman. Because they didn't want to spend the level of money that you would have to do to outbid the Dodgers for the services of Freddie Freeman. You would be overpaying for him in Atlanta. The Dodgers can do that. You know who can't do that? The Atlanta Braves.
Mm-hmm.
They can't afford to overpay for players. It's bad business decisions. So the whole point of that exercise, like talking with from Bob Nightingale's. They're like, oh, they could have just done this. They could have just done that. You want to talk about the Angels? In order to get Shohei Ohtani, they'd have to pay him $70 million a year. Who knows about the deferred money aspect of that? Could the Angels afford to do that when they already had Anthony Rendon locked up for a long time and they already had Mike Trout locked up for a long time with a lot of money? No. Look, the Angels spend a lot of money, but they didn't have that kind of money. So as much as the reason why these teams didn't spend this money on these players, they did not have it left. Now, if you want to make the argument that these teams were unintelligent with some of their moves, I will buy that. They made the wrong decisions on certain players. But to say that they're cheap and they didn't want to spend money for these players to play on their team, that's not even close to being true. They had to. They do not have the resources to go over the luxury tax like the Dodgers do, and that is the whole point of the system being broken. Is these teams are abiding by certain thresholds that other teams don't have to abide by, that don't discourage them from being we can go buy stars at star prices. I don't understand why people don't get that. And it's because Bob Nightingale is putting out tweets with no context of the situation for either team. It's just like, hey, look at these cheap owners that don't spend any money. Well, guess what? Should a lot of owners be spending more money? Yes. But at the same time, you can't spend money you don't have. You know what, Frank? The reason why you don't own a house on the beach is because you're not trying hard enough to own a house on the beach.
Thanks for reminding me.
You're welcome. You know, maybe if you weren't so cheap, Frank, you'd be able to own a house on the beach. But you're just so cheap that you don't own a house on the beach. That's literally what they're telling. You can't get mad at people for not spending money when they don't have the money to spend. It's not possible.
I'll just sit down here in the depression cave now. Thank you.
Right. I mean, it's the same thing for looking for a house. It's like, oh, the reason why you had to pay for the house that you have is because you aren't trying hard enough to pay for the house that's nicer. Well, if I have to unload all of my funds to buy the house, I become cash poor and then I can't operate in general. Ridiculous. All right. Mackenzie Gore is on the move. Where is he going? We'll tell you when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show, standing as number one sports station 97 through the Fan. All right, trying to piece together this Mackenzie Gore trade. He is on his way to Texas. He's going to be a Texas Ranger. Right on cue, right when Frank said, I would trade for Mackenzie Gore. 3 seconds later, he's gone.
That just means I can manage the Dodgers in Game 7 of the World Series.
Yeah, you can tell the future, just like Dave Roberts, apparently. All right, so we got some names coming down. Devin Fitzgerald is on there. He's the number 12 prospect. They got some serious prospects getting sent to Washington.
Guys, we love and appreciate the breaking news and you guys being so on it and helping us out, but we're not going to derail a conversation that we're having to try to information find live in real time. So
we see
it. We saw that it happened. We know that it happened. Give us the break to be able to gather this information up so we can present it to you instead of doing a real-time fact-finding mission.
Okay. I got 4 of the 5 names. So Mackenzie Gore is getting sent to Texas. It is a 5-for-1 trade. The Texas Rangers are sending their second best prospect, their 6th best prospect, their 12th best prospect, and their 18th best prospect, at least confirmed. I don't know about the 5th player yet. So
they gave up 4 top 15 prospects.
Correct. And that was from last year's rankings. I mean, those obviously might change for the 2026 version. But the number 2 prospect that the Rangers have, Gavin Feen. He is a shortstop on MLB Pipeline. He is listed as a third baseman on this trade, but he is an infield prospect out of Great Oak High School up in Temecula, so not too far from here. So he's on his way out. They're giving up their 6th best prospect, and Alejandro Rosario. He is a right-handed pitcher. And again, Gavin Feen's expected estimated time of arrival is 2029. Alejandro Rosario's estimated time of arrival as a right-handed pitcher is 2027. Devin Fitzgerald. That's Fitzgerald with a hyphen in between, by the way. Not Fitzgerald.
I was going to say, you said that awkwardly for a reason.
Yeah, Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald. He is the 12th best prospect in the Rangers organization. He's an infielder. He's suspected time of arrival is 2028. I don't know how to say this guy's name. Abimelech Ortiz. He is a first baseman, outfielder prospect, 2026 estimated time of arrival for him. And the last name we have is Yeremy Cabrera. Yeremy Cabrera on this list is the 16th best prospect. So the Rangers have given up for the services of Mackenzie Gore. Now, they could be trying to make Mackenzie Gore long-term fit, right? He's 26 years old. You get 2 years of control of him for sure. And then you get, you could potentially sign him for the Texas Rangers. But that is a lot. 5 top 20 prospects, 2 in the top 10 for the Texas Rangers going to Washington for 2 years of Mackenzie Gore. That's a pretty big haul for the Washington Nationals.
Yeah, and that's, as SD Mike in the chat just said, they've now turned Juan Soto into pretty much an entire lineup with the guys that they've got. And it's top 20 guys. Again, it goes back to the Mason Miller conversation that we were having at the trade deadline, is you're annoyed that you're giving up Leo DeVries. But it's not just player for player at that point. It's player for player and time. And with Mackenzie Gore being the quality of pitcher that he was last year, he was an all-star. He looked like he was going to be a Cy Young candidate, at least the way he started the year last year. You're paying for that, and you're paying for 2 years of control. So it's the Mason Miller conversation all over again, which is why the price is high. Is Mackenzie Gore worth that? I would say no. Is the time that you're going to have to deal with Mackenzie Gore worth that? And the time that you're not going to have to pay him $20 million worth that? Yes, it is.
Mac G started 30 games last year, made 30 starts last year, was 5-15 with a 4.17 ERA, showed snippets of greatness. He threw 159 and 2/3 innings, had a 13.53 whip last season. In his career, again, a 6 WAR, 26 and 41, 4.19 ERA, pitched in 105 games, has made 102 starts with a 14.01 walks plus hits per innings
It's a
pitched.
4 ERA with a young Washington Nationals team. It's not like he had the 27 Yankees playing behind him. Okay. He had a garbage Washington Nationals team behind him.
Well, his ERA plus is below 100. 100 is an average player on the ERA plus scale. He had a just above average season in 2024 at age 25 when it was a 104. When he was with the Padres, it was an 84 ERA plus. First year in Washington, 96. Last year was 98. His fielding independent pitching wasn't too bad at a 3.74 in comparison to the ERA. That's the metric about not having good defense behind you, right? So a 3.53 in 2024. He had a 3.74 in 2025. Obviously, he's still young. He had a 10.4 strikeout per 9, which I'm sure is what the Rangers are looking for. Plus, him in that ballpark's probably going to be very big for Mackenzie Gore and for the Texas Rangers. That's a lot of players going for 2 years of control. I just think you got to try to find a way to sign Mackenzie Gore to a long-term future if you're the Texas Rangers, because you've given up, as you mentioned, a haul of 5 guys. Now, that being said, I actually saw this today. I find it to be very interesting, and maybe we'll talk about it on when we come back, because we are running out of time. But Baseball America, who's the guy that writes for Baseball America? JJ something.
I believe we've had him on.
We have had him on.
Hold on, I'll just go back to her.
But Baseball America put out a thing today about their
JJ Cooper.
JJ Cooper put this out. It was about where they rank players in their top 100 over the last 20 years, where they ended up. If you're a top 10 player according to Baseball Reference, you're going to be according to Baseball America, you're probably going to be a really good player in the league. Now, where these guys rank overall in baseball, we'll have to take a look at it, but we'll see what type of haul that the Rangers sent for Mackenzie Gore. But that's a big move. And as Frank mentioned, I think you're going to start seeing a lot of moves fly off the board here, as Freddie Peralta is now no longer available. Mackenzie Gore is now no longer available. Where a team's going to pivot to get starting pitching that they need before the season starts, this might start heating up the stove a little bit more, as a lot of the big names have started to fall off the list. We'll talk about that when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97 through the Fan. 12:40 on a Thursday. Started cool. It felt like the weather last night felt like it was going to rain. I guess it's raining in Orange County right now.
Yeah, it's supposed to. It's supposed to tomorrow and Saturday. At least there's a chance of it.
My phone's got 0% chance now. Fun.
Tomorrow and Saturday.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Oh.
Tomorrow and Saturday.
What? I was looking at the AccuWeather app. We're old.
Good
oh
apps.
Goodness.
You know what? Are you tracking the winter storm on the East Coast right now? Are you that old?
No, I'm not.
Not that old. It's okay. It's okay. All right. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. This is the Braden Surprenant Show, live and local each every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's number sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Here's something I wanted to bring up, and I wanted to show, because we had some breaking news in this hour about the situation. Mackenzie Gore getting traded to the Texas Rangers. So Mackenzie Gore got traded for Gavin Feen, third base prospect, number 2 prospect in the Rangers organization. I won't bore you with the names because the names don't really matter. But the Rangers are sending the number 2, 6, 12, 16, and 18th prospect in their organization to the Washington Nationals for Mackenzie Gore. I think it's a good move for the Rangers because the Rangers get to add Mackenzie Gore to their starting rotation, a rotation that's already in a pretty good spot with the way things play out. And if you can get anything out of Jacob deGrom at age 37, got 2 more years of him left at $38 million a year, but you have Jacob deGrom, you have Nathan Eovaldi, you now have Mackenzie Gore, and then you got some younger arms coming through the ranks. You're awesome. It's looking pretty good for the Texas Rangers starting rotation. They put a little starting rotation together. Now, here's the thing for Washington. And I saw this morning, which makes it even more interesting. So J.J. Cooper of Baseball America went through and he put together what was, if you were ranked in the top 100 according to Baseball America's prospect rankings, how you ended up finishing your or going through your major league career, to really give a sense of, what's the percentage of players that end up making it that are prospects? Because everybody's like, oh, this is great. Like I was just saying, the Nationals got 5 top 20 prospects. That seems like a lot. So if you're watching on YouTube, they have MLB career outcomes, top 100 versus unranked from 1990 to 2022. It's a long period of time. That's a lot of data in there. So with this trade, the Texas Rangers actually did not send any top 100 prospects to Washington. The Rangers only have 1 top 100 prospect. That's Sebastian Walcott. He's staying. He ain't going to Washington. So they sent 5 of their top 20 prospects to Washington for Mackenzie Gore for 2 years of control and a potential sign. Maybe they can, get a contract extension. But I think Mackenzie Gore is represented by Scott Boras. So good luck with that, Texas. All right. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can see the chart. And I'll explain the chart to everybody driving around. Okay. MLB career outcomes, top 100 versus unranked from 1990 to 2022. If you were a top 3 prospect at any point in time in Baseball America's top 100 prospects, you have had a almost 15% chance, almost 20% chance of being a superstar in Major League Baseball. You had a pretty solid chance of, in fact, more than 50% chance of at least being a star in Major League Baseball. You had a 75% chance of at least being a solid regular player in Major League Baseball, which gives you a less than 24% chance of being no better than a contributor. And if you look at the numbers, again, top 1 through 3 prospects in all of baseball in the top 100, as you look at the numbers, you are looking at less than 2% chance of being a bust. 2% chance of less of being a bust, around there. That's if you're a top 1 to 3 player. If you're a top 4 to 10 player, that number decreases a little bit. You have more likelihood of being a player that is less than a 3 WAR, which is a cup of coffee player. than you did as a top 1 through 3 prospect. But as the chart continues, and you could look at the chart, and again, we're playing on YouTube, and if you miss it, you can go to JJ Cooper's X account. He really does the information on this. You start getting to the point where, like, the further you're outside the top 10 in prospect rankings, the less likely you are to be a really good player. Like, even if you look at the top 11 to 25, that's the top 11 to 25 best players in Major League Baseball in the prospect ranks, 11 through 25. So that's like, right now, that's Nolan McLean, Bryce Eldridge, Josue De Paula, Bubba Chandler of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Okay, Luis Pena, the Milwaukee Brewers. I mean, these are some of the names that you've seen that kind of floated out there with trades potentially. The 11 to 25 range, you have a 10% chance of being a superstar. You have at least about a 30% chance of being a star. You have a 53% chance of being a solid regular at the minimum. And then you have, most likely going to be a contributor, as you have a close to 80% chance of being a contributor in Major League Baseball, which means you have a 20% chance or less of being a cup of coffee player, which is a less than 3 WAR, or a bust of a less than 1 WAR. Those are players that, like, when we mentioned before with the trade with the Mets, Frank's like, I don't want to give up Nolan McLean. And Nolan McLean is not even guaranteed to be like a superstar. He's probably going to be a star, or maybe most likely a solid regular, if not a contributor, which is a 3 to 10 WAR. So now you look at the unranked portion. Now, every one of these players that the Rangers are sending to Washington are not ranked in the top 100 prospects in Major League Baseball. You have zero chance of being a superstar. Zero chance. So the Washington Nationals have a 0% chance at getting a superstar out of this haul that they just got from Mackenzie Gore. When you look at the star frame, so this is like any player that's a 20 to a 49.9 WAR star player, that is looking at a less than 5% chance. So the players that Washington just traded for, less than 5% chance that any of those players become a star. You go to the next threshold, a solid regular, that is like 2% chance. You get to a point where you're talking about a contributor. They have less than a 25% chance of one of those players being just a contributor to the Nationals at a 3 to 10 WAR. You have a 27 to 30% chance of that player being at least a cup of coffee player. And the biggest one, of course, because none of these players are ranked in the top 100, you are looking at what is most likely a 75% chance that for each of those players, they're going to end up being a bust. This is why you can't get excited for trading for prospects. This is why you can't get super stoked about, holding on to prospects, because more likely than not, it's not going to end well unless they're ranked in the top 100 in Major League Baseball. Let's look at the Padres. I mean, from last year, right? Like Leo, from last year, 2024, Ethan Salas is the 8th best prospect in Major League Baseball. He's got a pretty high chance of being at least a contributor in Major League Baseball based on this chart. You go back to the players again. So this is from 2024. Jackson Merrill was the 12th best prospect in baseball. Jackson Merrill had a high percentage chance of being a star. High percentage chance of being a star. He's close to being a superstar. I would agree with that. It comes in at number 12. And the last, I don't know if there's any other Padre that was on this list in 2024, but those are the players you want to keep. All these other players that are not in the top 100, who cares? You let them go. 2025, Leo DeVries. He's the third best prospect in baseball last year. He's got a really good chance at being a star or a superstar based on this chart, right? He's got, what does that say? More than a 50% chance of being a star? He's probably going to be a star. That trade obviously hurts to an extent, but that's in the future. And already right now, when you look at 2026, I mean, Baseball America had him like ranked below a lot of other players just at shortstop. He was like the 5th best shortstop. Probably still going to put you in the top 100. But I look at like these trades that get made. Texas made a great trade. They got a bunch of players that statistically are going to be a bust getting shipped off to Washington for somebody that was a top 10 prospect and is more likely to be a contributor or a good player than anything else. So it's the Leo DeVries of the world that you would be upset about potentially if you ended up trading away, as long as if you don't get anything like big in return. But you look at the overall scale, if they ain't ranked in the top 100, they got more than a 75% chance of being a bust. So you look at last year's top 100 rankings according to MLB Pipeline. And MLB Pipeline's rankings are very close to Baseball America's. I'm sure there's a couple of names off the list here and there. How many Padres are in the top 100? There's 2. Now, Ethan Salas dropped from 8 in baseball in 2024 to 77 in baseball in 2025. We'll see where he's at in 2026. I think the injury played a factor in that. His chances of being a star continue to diminish at this point in time. But there's 2 Padres on the list for the top 100 prospects in baseball as of last year. It's Ethan Salas and it's Cruz Schoolcraft. So when you look at the top 30 prospects for the Padres in terms of like trading players away, anybody that's not named Ethan Salas or Cruz Schoolcraft, you could send elsewhere because the likelihood of them being a star or a superstar or really just even a contributing player or a cup of coffee is less than it's less than 25% at being a player that's not at minimum a contributor to the team or a cup of coffee player. I look at this chart, Frank, and I go, anybody that's not a top 100 prospect, I am shipping out if I have an opportunity to get a star in return.
Yeah, it does certainly look that way. It makes a compelling case, especially when you put it into context, which was something we had an issue with earlier on in the hour. But yeah, I mean, it's hard not to fight. It's hard to fight with something like this. Seeing it laid out the way it is.
According to this chart, again, MLB career outcomes.
We retweeted it on the show Twitter account as well, so you guys can see it for yourself if you can't see the YouTube stream.
MLB career outcomes from 1990 to 2022 based on where players were ranked in the top 100 of Major League Baseball. The top 100 versus unranked players. We brought this up because the players getting sent from Texas to Washington for Mackenzie Gore, that this deal has been that's happened in this hour. None of them are top 100 prospects, which means the Nationals, for each player, not like collectively, I'm sure the odds change, but for each player, there is a 27% chance or less that they become at least a cup of coffee player, which means 73%. They have a 73% chance of them all. Each one of those players has a 73% chance of being a bust. So you look at the deal, and I first saw the deal. I'm like, wow, 5 players in the top 20 in the Texas Rangers organization going to the Washington Nationals. They're not a top 100 prospect. Ship them off. And you know what the Rangers did? They kept their one top 100 prospect on their team. Don't hang on to prospects. Use them to get other players back. I mean, we can look at all the players that were traded last year by the Padres. The more that A.J. Preller trades that are not top 100 prospects for stars of the Major League team, the better the Padres are off, in my opinion, based on looking at this chart. Dive into some NFL when we come back.
Go ball! Go ball! Oh, off the wall! Hit the weight room! Hughes bat, it has a new bat.
Oh, he's got
and
one.
nobody's gone deep in it with it yet. But he's about to film me do it.
He got on top of it.
Go,
Go, go, go, go, go!
Oh, hey, nobody else wearing a water t-shirt. Expand.
Ah. Down!
Oh, yeah. I got it.
Easy.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
I'm sorry?
You hanging out with his sister too much that he gets hurt?
Okay,
he goes to get placed in
now
the
that
IL?
now that the mics come on, you want to say
I'm just saying, dude.
crazy.
Hey, man. He goes to the IL. All of a sudden, you would hang out with his sister. He goes to the IL.
I guess I have a noodle. A large,
Hey, good job,
soft,
Sam.
wet.
God. Sorry, batting last.
Coming.
Down! Wow.
That was a hose.
Stay down. Good. Please catch it. Nice.
Drink Mountain Valley, baby.
I don't know. He is wearing a Panthers
Oh,
hat.
that's a good one.
What a team guy. Unlike
You know
Matt.
what? Cam Newton.
Selfish. I like Jalen Hurts more. I like Cam Newton. I'll go Jalen
Something
Hurts.
about Flacco, though.
That's why you're batting last.
Something about Flacco, I trust. This gets me going.
Look at that
Oh, look at
PFP.
the PFPs by one.
It's like it's everything that I
Oh,
want.
good oppo shot.
Nicky,
Hey, Nicky! That away, Nicky! Come on, Ethan! Go, Ethan! Why are you stopping?
Braden running.
This is why we can't win a ball game. We have no awareness on the pass. Like it's just.
Why did he?
I expect better from
Everyone
you.
else remember when he's 20 minutes? I didn't want to pass him.
What a team guy. Joel's such a team guy compared
reminds
to
me of Cam
Matt,
Newton
who's
refusing
not
to
a
jump on
not a
that
team
fourth
guy.
Go ball! Go ball!
Oh, off the wall! Hit the weight room.
Hughes bat, it has a new bat.
Oh, he's got
and
one.
nobody's gone deep in it with it yet. But he's about to film me do it.
He got on top of it.
Go,
Go, go, go, go, go!
Oh, hey, nobody else wearing a water t-shirt. Expand.
Ah. Down.
Oh, yeah. I got it.
Easy.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
I'm sorry?
You hanging out with his sister too much that he gets hurt?
Okay,
he goes to get placed
now
in the
that
IL?
now that the mics come on, you want to say that
I'm just
story
saying,
is
dude.
crazy.
Hey, man. He goes to the IL. All of a sudden, you would hang out with his sister. He goes to the IL.
I guess I have a noodle. A large,
Hey, good job,
soft,
Sam.
wet.
God. Sorry, batting last.
Coming.
Down! Wow.
That was a hose.
Stay down. Good. Please catch it. Nice.
Drink Mountain Valley, baby.
I don't know. He is wearing a Panthers
Oh,
hat.
that's a good one.
What a team guy. Unlike
You know
Matt.
what? Cam Newton.
Selfish. I like Jalen Hurts more. I like Cam Newton. I'll go Jalen
Something
Hurts.
about Flacco, though.
That's why you're batting last.
Something about Flacco, I trust. This gets me going.
Look at that
Oh, look at
PFP.
the PFPs by one.
It's like it's everything that I
Oh,
want.
good oppo shot.
Nicky,
Hey, Nicky! That away, Nicky! Come on, Ethan! Go, Ethan! Why are you stopping?
Braden running.
This is why we can't win a ball game. We have no awareness on the pass. Like it's just.
Why did he
I expect better from
Everyone
you.
else remember when he's 20 minutes? I didn't want to pass him.
What a team guy. Joel's such a team guy compared
reminds
to
me of Cam
Matt,
Newton
who's
refusing
not
to
a
jump on
not a
that
team
fourth
guy.
Go ball! Go ball!
Oh, off the wall! Hit the weight room.
Hughes bat, it has a new bat.
Oh, he's got
and
one.
nobody's gone deep in it with it yet. But he's about to film me do it.
He got on top of it.
Go,
Go, go, go, go, go!
Ain't nobody else wearing a water t-shirt. Expand.
Down.
Oh, yeah. I got it.
Easy.
Got a lot of stuff to talk about here in the final hour. I want to continue with the Mackenzie Gore talk a little bit here because he just got traded. And we did the whole thing about the graph that JJ Cooper put out. Like, the likelihood of the guys that the Nationals just got being good players is very slim. It's a more likely percentage chance that they are all going to be busts than they are going to be just contributing players. I explained that in the last segment. We're going to ask a question about Mackenzie Gore now, too. But we do got to get to today's biggest fan. Did we update today's biggest fan?
Yes, we did update today's biggest fan.
Just saying. Miss it one time. Somebody can get hurt.
Yeah, I know, right?
Congratulations to today's biggest fan, Bill Huff in San Diego. Give us a call in the next 10 minutes at 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973, and you'll qualify for our grand prize. 20 tickets for you and your friends for a night in our Odyssey Suite at a Padres game with all the fan staff later this season, catered by Spiro's Mediterranean Cuisine. Remember to register your name at 973thefansd.com/biggest fan. Bill Huff in San Diego. Bill Huff. 833-288-0973. 833-288-0973. You are today's biggest fan. Give Frank a break. That's what you're for. Fake name took Bill from Bill Howell. That'd have been great if Bill Howell was our biggest fan.
Namegenerator.com.
Bill Huff, not Bill Howell. We are in the Bill Howell studios, though. Okay. Topic of discussion here with the Mackenzie Gore deal. You looked at the chart. We had a little bit of time left in that last segment we didn't really have time to dive into it. But with that chart, with if you're not a top 100 prospect, your likelihood of being a bust is like 70-something%. Now there's a lot of players that are not top 100 prospects, but the fact that it was like there was 0% chance. Hey, Williams calling in. There was a 0% chance that those guys would be a superstar. So when you're making some of these trades, and like everybody likes to trade for prospects, unless you're getting top 100 prospects back, it's not a great business decision to trade for prospects. It's just not. You're rolling the dice, especially if you have a star or a superstar. Now, how would you evaluate Mackenzie Gore? He's got a 6 WAR right now in his career. A 6 WAR in his career. I got to go back to the chart. I mean, you could look at what that talked about. I think he's a contributing player as of right now, based on the chart that we had from JJ Cooper. He put that out today. I think it's interesting that
put it out yesterday.
Yesterday, that it popped up like that. I saw it today. So JJ Cooper's deal with this graph here. So Mackenzie Gore is a 6 WAR player. That puts him at a contributor status. So you are trading a contributor for what could potentially be 5 busts, or at the very best, a couple of contributors. Your likelihood of hitting a star is less than 5%. Your likelihood of getting at least a solid regular is less than 10%. If you get anything at all, it's most likely going to be a player that's Mackenzie Gore status or less. And so it gets to the point of why don't you just keep Mackenzie Gore? Which asks the question now, Frank, is this because it's the second team that Mackenzie Gore... Is this because it's the second team that has given up on Mackenzie Gore, or is this because the Washington Nationals continue to do cheap things? In my opinion, I think it could be a little bit of both. I think it could be a little bit of both between these two things. I think the fact that it's the Nationals throws it off a little bit. Like, if this was any other organization, like if it was the Brewers, I would say it's more of a Mackenzie Gore problem because the Brewers are a team that, yes, they're not a team that's financially, in a position to spend a lot of money, right? They are a team, though, but that contributes. They're a team that is expected to win. In another year of Mackenzie Gore, it's better to hang on to Mackenzie Gore for a year and then trade him with 1 year left than it is to trade with 2 years left, especially if this is the haul back. I think this is slightly leaning towards more the Washington Nationals being a problem than anything else. But this is not great for Mackenzie Gore. The fact that you're traded twice already before you turn age 27, before you go into free agency with 2 years left, and the fact that the Nationals got 5 players back. Not one of them is a top 100 prospect for Mackenzie Gore. And you're leaning on maybe one of these guys potentially not being a bust. I mean, they're more likely than not, they're all going to be busts instead of being a star player. And the likelihood of them being a star player is less than 2%. So I think this is more of Washington being a problem as an organization continuing to be cheap than it is Mackenzie Gore maybe not having the stuff. Because if the Nationals would rather have these 5 players that are not top 100 players instead of Mackenzie Gore in the next handful of years, they are really setting themselves up for being bad for the next 8 to 10 years.
If I'm another GM, I think that's a fair question to be asking, especially with this guy coming up to free agency and ending his arbitration in the next couple of years. You also have to take a look at the 2 teams that he got traded from. The Washington Nationals, who aside from that one prospect pool that they hit on and won the that was the 2019 World Series. The one prospect pool that they hit on and won the World Series have been nowhere. They've been irrelevant most of their time in Major League Baseball. And the San Diego Padres, who turn over prospects the way people turn over their underwear. Like, their prospects in the Padre organization don't stay long because AJ Preller consistently is trying to improve the team. And if that prospect can't do it right in the window that Preller's thinking about, they're gone. So I think that's part of the answer as far as whether or not this is a Mackenzie Gore problem. I think this is more a Nationals problem. This is more of just the Washington Nationals being the Washington Nationals than it is an issue of Mackenzie Gore. And is Mackenzie Gore a problem?
I think so too. I think it's more of Washington. And here's the deal. This is why you don't want to trade for prospects. How many, you know what this makes? You know what this you know what this is good news for? We probably don't have to talk about it in May about who won the Juan Soto deal.
May 29th,
they continue to
baby.
punt down the road. The Nationals continue to punt down the road. What have the Padres done since acquiring Juan Soto? Oh, I don't know. Made the playoffs 3 of the last 4 years. What have the Nationals done? Nothing. They've done nothing, and they will continue to do nothing. Because every time they get anybody that's worth a bleep, they get sent elsewhere for more potential future assets.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just keep doing that forever. You'll never be successful. And it's interesting that that a team like Washington has found themselves in that position. Washington right now, I know Mackenzie Gore is still ARB eligible, but Washington right now has 4 players under contract with guaranteed salaries. Trevor Williams is the highest paid player on the Washington Nationals at $7 million. They're spending $91 million on their payroll next year. Keibert Ruiz is making $6.25 million towards the luxury tax. He signed an 8-year, $50 million deal. Foster Griffin is making $5.5 million a year. He's the 3rd highest paid player with guaranteed salaries on the Washington Nationals. Luis Garcia Jr. is making $6.8 million. You look at this roster, and this is why I say, they have C.J. Abrams and they have James Wood. Brother, that's assuming that they keep these guys. What's going to stop the Nationals from trading away James Wood in 2028 when he has 2 more years of control? Or 2029 when he has 2 more years of control?
As a Met fan, you know what I hear when you say that?
What?
All of that is that on September 25th, 26th, and 27th, when we're down to the final 3 games of the season, the Mets are 1 game inside of a wild card spot. All I hear is the Mets are getting swept by the Nationals.
Oh, yeah, they're kicking your ass.
That's all I'm hearing.
That's 100% true. And you'll be more
The Mets are missing the playoffs.
You'll be more upset that day than you will anytime you sit in traffic.
The Mets are missing the playoffs after getting swept by the Nationals to close out the season. That's all I hear when I say that. When you say that,
I'm telling you right now, they're going to change. James Wood is not going to end up on the Nationals long term. C.J. Abrams will get traded next year. C.J. Abrams will get traded next year. He's 25 years old this year. He's getting $4.2 million in 2026. He'll have 2 years of control in the next offseason. He's getting traded next offseason. And they're just going to keep punting and punting and punting and being like, well, we can't afford this guy long term. We got to, and that's also part of the problem with Major League Baseball. Again, as much as everybody continues to think that we're just talking about the Dodgers being a problem, it's not the Dodgers, it's the system for all of these teams. There's no incentive for these teams to spend money. There's no way to try to get these guys under contract for a long period of time because their agents talk them out of it because they know if they make it to free agency, they're going to make way more money than if they, buy early into a contract extension. In the NFL, you can do that. In Major League Baseball, it's better to get in a bidding war with a bunch of rich teams that can constantly buy the best players. It's not a Dodger problem. It's a Major League Baseball problem. I want to make that as clear as possible. We continue to try to make that as clear as possible. They just happen to be the example. We'd be saying the exact same thing if it was the Yankees. I don't know if we both would be saying it if it was the Mets. Maybe just one of us would be saying it if it was the Mets. But it'd be the same conversation.
I do have the ability to be impartial when it comes to my teams. No one hates my teams more than I do.
You know what? We haven't seen your teams have too much success. So until that happens, I will believe it when I see
it. Man.
You know what? This is why when you get into this business, you should just stop being fans of teams. It's less painful.
It makes it more fun, though, between the listeners and...
That's true. It'd be better if you just picked all the teams that the listeners hated besides the Dodgers. That'd be kind of fun. Take it out of the baseball realm, just be the the Cowboys fan for no reason. Anyway, we talked about the advantage the Dodgers had yesterday with the TV contract. Jun Lee really got in the details of it. What did he say? We'll play it for you when we come back. The loopholes that exist for certain teams in Major League Baseball, like this one. Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego Sports Station 97 through the Fan. Broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We know how. Our biggest fan called in. That's great. Love it.
Back-to-back days.
Back-to-back days. Love it. Love it. I do want to mention that all guests on 97 through the Fan join us on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. We didn't get to that Padres thing on the
oh no, we
the
did
new
not.
bar
Yeah.
they're opening up. Well, maybe we'll get that
traded.
tomorrow. Yeah, they decided Jeff Passan decided to bomb atomically.
That was actually that was
Heyman
John
had it
Heyman.
first, but he's not as fun. John Heyman. It's a good article. Ass. Did you see that today?
Yes,
Yesterday?
I saw it last night. Yes.
What did John Heyman say specifically?
He was.
It's well written. Ass.
Yeah. So John Heyman, for those of you who didn't see it, John Heyman put out a tweet last night.
About the Bellinger going to the Yankees.
Yeah, I'm trying to find.
Is that what it was?
I'm trying to find.
It was something else. It was last night, right? So these are all early. He had one last night that was talking. I think it was like the benefit of the Yankees being back or something like that, whatever it was. And some guy was like, "Cut the crap, John. Stop trying to make this something it's not." And he said it was.
Oh, yeah, here it is. So Heyman posted, the Yankees are running it back with virtually the same roster, but here's why they'll be better and fans should be happy, which that's already ridiculous. Someone commented on that saying, stop trying to give us fall hope. This bleep is ass, Heyman. Heyman replies to the guy saying, but it's well-written ass.
It's well-written ass. What a clapback by John Heyman. I like John Heyman. He's not afraid to clap back on people. It's great. Didn't he he's done that on the air too, hasn't he?
I
on some of
believe
those
so,
hits that
yeah.
he used to do for Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
He was clapping back at some radio show. We're done here. We're done here.
That was FAN, I believe.
I think it was
might have been
FAN. It was
with,
WFAN.
That might have been with McPherson, who's no longer with the station.
That was hilarious. John Heyman. Great. All right, let's get to this. We talked about it yesterday, but we didn't have all the details, right? So June Lee looked into the details. There's been a lot of rumors about this. It's very hard to find this in the news in the United States. You have to find some international articles about when this went down. But it was the McCourt family, and they were going through issues, and it was a big divorce between Frank McCourt and his wife, and they both claimed that they own the Dodgers, and he tried to get rid of it very quickly. Instead, it ended up leading to a bankruptcy deal. And what the problem is Major League Baseball doesn't want any type of bankruptcy court, because that means got to open up the books, and they don't want any of the books open to see how much money they're making and what the exact numbers are, especially when they, a lot of teams cry poverty and a lot of different stuff. So they didn't want that open. So they stepped in and got involved with this situation, which led to the Dodgers having a pretty good cheat code in Major League Baseball. Now, we explained it yesterday, the Spark Notes version, the Cliff Notes version, if you're older than 45.
I say Cliff Notes version.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I do.
That's a foul on you for being
Why?
old. We used Cliff Notes at our age.
Draws the foul.
It was Spark Notes. Cliff Notes were for my parents.
I don't know what Spark Notes is.
Oh my, double foul. Double foul.
He draws the foul.
What an old ass.
I told you.
Jeez. That's ridiculous.
I genuinely have no idea what Spark Notes is.
It's Cliff Notes. It's just online. That's what it was when I was a kid, to get the the summary of the book, right? That's kind of the deal.
I always heard the phrase, give me the Cliff Notes version. That's where I...
Do you never use Cliff Notes in high school or college or elementary school?
Yeah, I did.
It's called Spark Notes. I don't even know what the new thing is now. They probably think we're old for using Spark Notes.
It's Chat GPT.
Yeah, it's AI. Quizlet. Anyway, I digress from that. Let's get to what June Lee had to say. He did a pretty good reporting on this. I think he's going to be on the morning show tomorrow to talk about it more. But this is the details with the McCourt divorce that has led to the ultimate cheat code for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
The first big turning point came when the Dodgers partnered with Time Warner Cable to launch Sportsnet LA. But because the Dodgers had just gone bankrupt and MLB wanted to help one of their historic franchises get better, there was an exception in the contract. Under MLB rules, teams are supposed to share a big chunk of their local TV money with the rest of the league. Think of it like a tax system. Big market teams help smaller teams so everyone has a chance to compete. That tax is roughly 1/3 of the team's local TV money. But when the Dodgers signed their TV deal, it completely shattered expectations. The deal was roughly $8 billion over 25 years, far more than MLB had projected. If MLB applied its typical formula, the Dodgers would have owed about $95.2 million a year into revenue sharing. But here's the twist. Because the Dodgers had just gone bankrupt, MLB agreed in federal court to lock in a fair market value for the rights of Dodgers baseball games on television. With the number the court decided, the Dodgers only had to pay $28.6 million per year, saving nearly $66.6 million every single season. It's like if the Dodgers built a mansion, but MLB kept taxing them as if they were living in a small house. And according to a leaked source, that exception doesn't expire until 2039, when the Dodgers TV deal expires. In other words, for nearly 3 decades, the Dodgers TV revenue is going to be taxed as if they were still a bankrupt franchise. That is completely unprecedented in American sports history, and it's one of the things the Dodgers have taken advantage of to make sure they can win as much as possible during this window.
All right. So we explained that yesterday. That was more detailed by June Lee about the cheat code that the Dodgers have. So while everybody else is paying 30% of their TV contract that they're getting into the pot to be shared, the Dodgers are paying 30% of the $80-something million that they were essentially assigned of a guess of what they thought the TV contract was going to be. And since they did in federal court till 2038, that's what it is. So instead of the Dodgers being taxed on what their actual TV contract is, which is the biggest in baseball, they're getting taxed on a TV contract that's probably just as small as a small market team. That is a massive advantage for the Dodgers, on top of the fact that they were able to get a guy like Shohei Ohtani to defer a bunch of money and then everybody else deferring money and yada, 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 yada. This is not a Dodgers thing. This is Major League Baseball being a circus.
Yeah, that is a Bud Selig thing directly.
Right. All to protect the books from getting released, right? So the panic move by Major League Baseball has led to the Dodgers being this gigantic cheat code on so many different ways. It is the perfect storm. And so when people say like anybody could do this, not everybody can do this. Everything is lined up for the Dodgers to have this dominant dynasty. And it's not because, as much as Dodger fans want to make it because they're so smart, it's not because they're just so smart. They have different rules than everybody else because they had these rules because they were a bankrupt franchise in the mid-2000s. And being the bankrupt franchise basically just made them into this monster that they are now because of all these rules and bad planning and bad politics involved with this Major League Baseball deal. So, yes, people that say anybody can do this are the most uninformed people that you will ever talk to. Bring this up. Bring this up. Bring up the fact that for the money that goes over the luxury tax, if you make improvements on your stadium, that comes out of your luxury tax payments. Bring up the fact that they are able to get a bunch of different players to take deferred money. I mean, as Adam puts in the chat, they were literally a poverty franchise. They were bankrupt because of the McCourt family, who, by the way, is still in the parking lot over there. That's fun. But it's a massive advantage in Major League Baseball. And if you don't understand that, it's just, I can't help you, Frank.
No, this is what we talk about. I mean, as you've been saying, this is what we talk about. No, not every team can do this. I mean, if you really think about it, every team can go bankrupt. But
try to get a deal from Bud Selig.
Yeah, but not every team can get that sweetheart deal because not every team. Do you think the Padres are going to get the sweetheart legacy deal that the Dodgers got? You think that the White Sox are going to get the sweetheart legacy deal that the Dodgers got? No, it's only going to be for the handful of teams, the Dodgers, Yankees, Red Sox, Cubs, I'll even throw in there, the Cardinals as well. Those are the teams that are able, the Giants are going to be able to get a sweetheart deal like that. So in that case, there's only about 5 or 6 teams that can do what the Dodgers are doing. But no one's thinking of the, hey, let's bankrupt the team strat. It's proven pretty effective over the last couple of years.
The reality of the situation is, again, it's not the Dodgers that's the problem. They are doing everything that's in the rules.
The light just shined on them.
It's Major League Baseball that has a massive problem with a entity that is based on competition that doesn't have everybody playing by the same rules. I mean, could you imagine if the National Football League operated like this? Imagine if the NFL, you got to have your own regional TV contracts and it was just luxury taxes. If you got to sign your own TV deal, is anybody getting better money than the Dallas Cowboys?
No.
Or the New York Giants?
Yeah.
You can say what you want about, like, oh, man, we got Giants, Cowboys again on Monday Night Football. There's a reason why they put them on there. Why do they put them on there? Because they got giant fan bases, and what do they do?
Packers.
They watch. Same thing here. What do you think the TV contract for the Cowboys would be if they got to sign their own regional TV contract?
Oh, God.
It would be billions of dollars.
Mind-boggling.
It would be probably almost the majority of whatever the TV contract is right now at the NFL and some of their partners. I mean, they would have a deal with like NBC. And then on top of that, eliminate restrictions of them spending money. The Cowboys would win every year. And you know what I would say? Well, anybody can do that.
Yeah.
Right? Green Bay could do that, right? They could get the same kind of local TV contract, right? No. At least with Green Bay, they got a big fan base. They might be able to get something. But, do you think the Jacksonville Jaguars could do that? Do you think they could do that? No. Carolina Panthers, they get a multi-billion-dollar TV contract by themselves? No, probably not. Do you think the New Orleans Saints are getting that kind of money? No. No.
The Panthers and Saints might have enough trouble getting a multi-dollar television.
I tell you what, if the NFL operated like that, the Spanos family moving the team to LA would actually make a little bit more sense. You got paid by local TV contracts. I mean, in a small market, you don't have that kind of capability. The NFL operated like that, it'd be the most boring league ever. People would hate it and be like, this is dumb. Why are we doing this? And then people would like complain that it's baseball. It's the same thing in like college football. College football's got the rich schools get to buy all the players, top 1%.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's all worried about, well, Notre Dame, you got to join a conference. Well, we're not joining a conference. We have our own TV contracts. Well, you know what? If nobody else plays them, then they kind of have to do exactly that. That's where college football needs to put their foot down and be like, hey, okay, Notre Dame, I know you got this big contract to yourself, but if you want to be able to play us and play in these tournaments, which is what they should do, they should put these rules in. You better join a conference. Let's centralize the TV. Let's make it about competition. The leagues that have the biggest problems are the ones that don't have the rules when it comes to money. And the leagues that actually make the most money are the ones that have rules when it comes to how do you spend the money? Yeah, instead, let's go Aztecs said, instead of just putting their foot down and making the Notre Dame Fighting Irish join a conference or forfeit their TV contract or work something else out of it by just refusing to play them, they decided to just give them an automatic berth to the college football playoff.
Yeah, because that won't cause any more problems, will it?
Right, exactly. But that's the difference. You want a league that everybody's playing by the same rules, and the strategy is there for forming a roster, not a league that has all these random rules put in place and different stipulations that have caused for your greatest success to be because you have the most money. I don't think anybody wants to operate like that. The greatest success should be what you do with the money. Everybody should have the same amount and see what you do with it. That's the competition level of professional sports. That's why they're professional sports. That's the whole point of the game. That's what makes their sport that's what makes the sport entertaining. Who's going to be the best at building the roster? Who's going to be the best at putting this together? It's not just, well, I can just buy a championship, which is what you do in Major League Baseball. Because everybody that wins a World Series in the last 20 years have been top 10 in payroll or just outside the top 10, including small market teams that had to put money up there. But you know what they can't do? The small market teams, Frank? They can't do that year in and year out. They get lucky one time. They spend all the money, right? They load their team up. The Nationals did it. And the Royals did it. And then they go to crap for years until they get another group again, load up on contracts, and go like, here's our one and only shot. And in baseball, it's such a crapshoot sport that it's not even a guarantee. But if you can do it every single year, your odds of winning skyrocket, just like the Dodgers have had over the last 10 years. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Speaking of the NFL, 18 games. Look, I think the NFL does a lot of great things, but this latest thing from Robert Kraft, I don't know if I like it. I have a better alternative to it that I think would benefit the league and benefit San Diego. We'll talk about it when we come back in the final segment of the Braden Surprenant Show, leading into Gwen and Chris on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97 through the Fan.
Aztec City is absolutely a place. Run that stupid game, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You want a shirt? That's so lame. That what? Swing like this, where's it going to go? Left or right? Yeah, I'd rather do that than hit it in a pie.
Hit a ball like that a day in my life, so
yeah, well, you
start now?
Because it's a different sport, that's why. Here, make sure you do the pull-up.
Why don't we swing like that to hit line drives?
Huh? Just hitting, spraying it. I mean, have you seen Luis Ariz swing a stick?
Yeah, he don't swing like that.
He might do that.
He does that as his practice swing.
First to be able to
10 teams want to sign him. Nice piece. Nice ball, nice ball. That's a run, tied it up. Where's my cutoff guy? That's all I gotta say. Okay, let's go. Like this.
Aztec City is absolutely a place. Run that stupid game, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You want a shirt? That's so lame. That what? Swing like this, where's it gonna go? Left or right? Yeah, I'd rather do that than hit it in a pie.
Hit a ball like that a day in my life, so
Yeah,
why
well,
should I
you
start now?
Because it's a different sport, that's why. Here, make sure you do the pull-up.
Why don't we swing like that to hit line drives?
Huh? Just hitting, spraying it. I mean, have you seen Luis Ariz swing a stick?
Yeah, he don't swing like that.
He might do that.
He does that as his practice swing.
First to be able to
10 teams want to sign him. Nice piece. Nice ball, nice ball. That's a run, tied it up. Where's my cutoff guy? That's all I gotta say. Okay, let's go. Like this.
Aztec City is absolutely a place. Run that stupid game, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You want a shirt? That's so lame. That what? Swing like this, where's it gonna go? Left or right? Yeah, I'd rather do that than hit it in a pie.
Hit a ball like that a day in my life, so
Yeah,
why
well,
should I
you
start now?
Because it's a different sport, that's why. Here, make sure you do the pull-up.
Why don't we swing like that to hit line drives?
Huh? Just hitting, spraying it. I mean, have you seen Luis Ariz swing a stick?
Yeah, he don't swing like that.
He might do that.
He does that as his practice swing.
First to be able to
10 teams want to sign him. Nice piece. Nice ball, nice ball. That's a run, tied it up. Where's my cutoff guy? That's all I gotta say. Okay, let's go. Like this.
Aztec City is absolutely a place. Run that stupid game, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You want a shirt? That's so lame. That what? Swing like this, where's it gonna go? Left or right? Yeah, I'd rather do that than hit it in a pie.
Hit a ball like that a day in my life, so
Yeah,
why
well,
should I
you
start now?
Because it's a different sport, that's why. Here, make sure you do the pull-up.
Why don't we swing like that to hit line drives?
Huh? Just hitting, spraying it. I mean, have you seen Luis Ariz swing a stick?
Yeah, he don't swing like that.
He might do that.
He does that as practice swing.
Your first Nabila.
10 teams want to sign him. Nice piece. Nice ball, nice ball. That's a run, tied it up. Where's my cutoff guy? That's all I gotta say. Hey, let's go. Like this.
Aztec City is absolutely a place. Run that stupid shit.
Thank you. You want a shirt? That's so lame. That what? Swing like this. Where's it gonna go? Left or right? Yeah, I'd rather do that than hit it in a pie.
I hit a ball like that a day in my life, so
Yeah,
why
well,
should I start now?
because it's a different sport. That's why. Here, make sure you do the pull-up.
Why don't we swing like that to hit line drives?
Huh? Just hitting, spraying it. I mean, have you seen Luis Ariz swing a stick?
Yeah, he don't swing like that.
He might do that.
He does that as practice swing.
Your first Nabila.
10 teams want to sign him. Nice piece. Nice ball, nice ball. That's a run, tied it up. Where's my cutoff guy? That's all I gotta say. We didn't get to our midday sports standoff today. Bummer.
Did have a pretty good trivia question here during the break, though.
We have no Aztec tickets to give away. Say that for like an. Do we have an Aztec? No. Are they on the road?
No, we don't have.
They play at UNLV, so no Aztec tickets.
Yeah, no, we don't have Aztec tickets.
I like saving trivia questions for
It's
giveaways.
not on the thing.
I know, but like for tomorrow or something. I don't know.
No, I haven't. No.
So that's why I was asking if we have something to use it for. We could use it. Anyway.
What is a Padres trivia question going to have anything to do with the Aztecs?
It doesn't matter. You can ask whatever. When you have ticket giveaways, you can ask anything to give away the tickets. It doesn't have to be Aztec related.
Fair enough.
Usually in the email, it says like, give these away however you want. We'll keep it topical. Aztec fan usually is going to know Aztec things.
10th caller to tell us who the Phillies MVP was in 1972. Gets these Aztec tickets.
There you go. All right. Midday Sports Stand-Up. Didn't get to it today. If you could take me out in sports trivia, you'd be qualified for a chance to win our grand prize. 2 tickets to Sammy Hagar at Dolby Live at Park MGM, a 2-night stay at Park MGM Las Vegas, and a $100 gas card. Sammy Hagar returns to Las Vegas with his best of all worlds Las Vegas residency. Get ready to rock with your favorite hits from the Van Halen years, Sammy solo hits, and more only in Las Vegas, March 11th to the 21st and September 18th to the 26th at Dolby Live at Park MGM. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
Rod in the chat. How many fingers am I holding?
It could be anything. You could literally, I mean, those are when you get the ticket giveaways on some of those things, you could give them away however you want. You could do something like that. Anyway, let's get to some NFL stuff. The NFL wants to expand. Huh? What? NFL wants to expand.
This is apparently also something that Robert Kraft wasn't necessarily supposed to say either.
Does he work at San Diego State? What?
Oh,
that's a foul. That's a foul.
He draws the foul.
That was a cheap shot joke. It's funny, though.
That was rude.
It's funny. It was rude. It's funny, though. You know what? As long as they keep pitching that 14 playoff for the Pac-12, I'm in. They're expanding toward an 18-game regular season. It's no longer theoretical. It's actively being pushed by influential owners like Robert Kraft, backed by the commissioner Roger Goodell, and tied directly to revenue growth, salary cap increases, and international expansion. This is shaping up to be a central issue in the next CBA negotiations, ones that aren't nearly as aggressive as the baseball ones, potentially beginning as early as this offseason, despite the current agreement running through 2030. beginning as early as this offseason, despite the current. Oh, yeah, I just got updated twice. Key quotes and intent with this. Okay, so Robert Kraft, Patriots owner, was emphatic that every team would play an 18 regular season game schedule. Preseason would be reduced to 2 games. Every team every year plays 1 international game. Boo. I'm so done with the international games, man.
Yep.
So done with the international games. There is something, though, that I think would be beneficial to the NFL. If they're going for this that I'm going to talk about in a second, then I understand what they're doing in the international games. Okay. By the way, let me ask you this question. When was the first time that we started seeing these like international games? Like the consistent ones in London?
It was like the early 2010. Let me actually see, because I know the Khan family.
I remember the
owns
Chargers,
the Jaguars.
I remember when the Chargers were in San Diego. They played the Saints in the international games. But, they used to do it a long time ago. Now they're breaking it up by country. What's the earliest? I go back to 2007. The Giants played the Dolphins at Wembley Stadium. I think that was the beginning of this reoccurring international series. 2007. I'm sure they had international games in Canada and some other places. No, it sounds like 2007 is the earliest regular season game.
When was it?
2007.
2007.
The
Okay.
Giants played the Dolphins at Wembley Stadium.
Okay. Saheed Khan, the owner of the Jaguars, bought Fulham Football Club in December of 2011, which is why when it became an annual thing that Jacksonville was always the one that went over there, because
they
Khan owned
volunteered
a
to
Premier
do
League
it.
club. That was why that was what I wanted to look at to see if it started to become a thing an annual thing in 2012. I wanted to relate that to when Saheed Khan bought Fulham.
All right, so it started in 2007. I bring that up because I want to know, this is going to be an international, you're going to understand in a second. I think the international games are dumb. I hate watching them. I actually never watch them.
Understood that.
I think it's so forced. And the fact that we move regular season games internationally when we don't get the same return from international entities, I think is a joke. I'm out on that. Now, if they're doing it for this reason of trying to grow the game internationally to get more players to play, I understand. Now, let's think about it. It's been 19 years of them going to London every single year. I think they went to London almost every single year, and they had done it multiple times since 2007. They started to do it after that with other countries, right? And so my thing is how many youth leagues have they developed in these countries? I would like to know that. If they are developing fandom for young players or kids to want to grow up and play football at the next level, and they can increase their number of players and talented players in the league, it makes sense to me because then they can expand the league in the United States, which I think is better than expanding the amount of games.
So from what I just saw, I just typed in NFL Youth League UK. The AI overview said there's not a single NFL Youth League in the UK, but rather a structure involving the NFL Academy, various flag football programs aligned with NFL flag, and leagues run by the British American Football Association and National Football Youth League for both flag and contact American football, plus NFL UK's schools program for educational resources. So there's NFL flag, UK, Ireland, there's BAFA, British American Football Association, which I just mentioned. So they are doing things to get the children involved.
I think they need it. Why did you do that, by the way?
I saw a flash. I know Angie's here, but she never runs. She never runs. I saw a white flash go past the thing.
My thing is they got to start putting in youth football, Pop Warner, tackle football high school level, whatever the equivalent is in Europe, and they got to try to get some players out of it. Because to me, like the 18 game schedule, so that's part of the deal with the landscape. They have everybody play internationally. Kraft's frame the push as a way to grow the salary cap, maintain labor peace, leverage the NFL's dominance in television ratings, yada, 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 yada. The Players Association already agreed to 17 games in 2020. Owners see that as a precedent for another expansion. Negotiation could start well before 2030. International expansion, the end game, 7 international games in 2025, potential 9 games overseas in 2026. Goodell has openly floated up to 16 international games. The league reaches 18 total games. Markets like London, Germany, Brazil, Mexico, and beyond are viewed as long-term growth engines. Our goal is to be a global sport. The thing is, you could be a global sport. They need more players. They need players from these countries to start developing into high-level players. Instead of being in other sports, they got to get them to the level of football so you can grow the game in the United States. I think it would be better for the NFL to expand to 40 teams in the United States than it is to add another week game. And the counter to that all the time is quarterback play. You don't have enough quarterbacks to make it through this. There's not enough good quarterbacks, not enough good players to fill out an additional 8 teams in the National Football League. But my counter to that is, look who's starting. Who's it? Look what these rosters look like right now at this point in the season for the AFC and NFC championship games when you have 17 games played. Look how many of these stud players are back, right? Look at the Niners last week. I get it's a war of attrition, but you want to see the best players play. And to counteract load management, to counteract, having your best players injured, because this is a brutal, violent sport, stop adding more games. Look, I understand when they want to add more games for more inventory. Add more teams, and you will get more inventory. And the way to add more teams is by going internationally and by getting more players, so you have a bigger player pool and competition to get players on rosters in the NFL so they can develop, and all of a sudden you have 40 teams or 40 teams able to be competitive in the National Football League. The hardest part's quarterback. They got to get internationally and start developing quarterbacks somewhere, or find a quarterback camp. They got to do better with developing quarterbacks so you can fill out these rosters. But to me, I think it would be better if you had 40 teams playing 16 games. I think it'd be way better like that. 40 teams playing 16 games. That's 20 games a week, which is what you want, right? Like, what makes the Sunday schedule suck now, Frank? There's like 3 afternoon games. And why is there 3 afternoon games?
Because we're moving a game to Thursday.
Because you got a Monday game, you got a Thursday game, you got the header Monday games, you got the early international game mixed in as well. So if you had 40 teams and they all played, right, you would have 20 games. So you would have 20 games times 6. You have 320 regular season games. As of right now, with 32 teams, that's 16 games a week times 18. You have 288 games in the regular season. Make it 320. And when you make it 320, you can assign multiple weeks of buys. You can still have the season go as long as it's going now with 17, 18 weeks. Give teams multiple bye weeks. Give them 2 buys a year. Spread it out so you keep these guys healthy. And you still get the same inventory. You could spread it out, and then you can have multiple teams have at least like 1 or 2 or 1 international game. So you continue to push the international. You have 8 more markets in the NFL, and you get more of the game. And here's the thing. People understand. The NFL is driven right now by like red zone and fantasy football. Sure, there's teams that like there's people that like their favorite team and all that stuff. But what is driving the NFL is fantasy football. And fantasy football is going to continue to put eyeballs on the NFL regardless of how talented the players are or not. I know you don't want to water it down. Oh, 32 is perfect. But if you had 20 teams in the AFC and 20 teams in the NFC, you could play 16 games still on Sunday like it used to be. And then you have 1 game on Monday night, right? So that knocks it down to, that's 17 games. And then you have a game on Thursday, it's 18 games. And then you have the one game at night, which gets you to 19 games. And then you have the one international game every week. And that gets you to 20. And you have everybody play one international game. You have the 16 games on Sunday. You're going to have 8 games in the morning, 8 games in the afternoon, the one early game at 6 a.m., whatever it is, the one night game on Sunday night. You have the Monday night game, and you have the Thursday night game. And shoot, you could probably do a Monday doubleheader and limit even more. But then that way you have the full morning slate, which everybody loves, as the same time in the afternoon. Players would stay healthier. The reason why, like the preseason, and the other thing too is you got to make sure the guys are getting ready during the preseason and make the mandatory camps again to get them in shape. I think that's way better for the NFL than adding more weeks. Forget that. Drop it back down to 16, add more teams. You'll get more inventory that way and spread it over the entire fall season. You could still play the Super Bowl the day before President's Day if you want. Add more teams to the playoffs. This is how you expand it without destroying the players. Fantasy football is driving the NFL. Go look at why people watch. Quinn and Chris coming up next. We'll talk more about this tomorrow. Braden Surprenant Show, sending us over at Sports Station 97 through the Fan.